Eh, salut mes petits blaireautins! Comment est-ce que ça va? Comment est-ce que vous allez? Eh ben, nous, comme dirait Henri Dess, je suis content, c'est le printemps, hein? Parce que ici, il a fait super beau, super chaud, hein? Et voilà, on est tranquille. Donc ce soir, on va continuer The Council, on va entamer l'épisode 2, hein, puisque la semaine dernière, on avait fini l'épisode 1. Alors, si, à condition que le son marche et je parle pas dans le vide depuis tout à l'heure, je vous rappelle que, en fait, à la fin de l'épisode 1, eh ben, ta, il y a des gens qui déboulent dans ma chambre au petit matin et qui m'accusent d'avoir tué une des meufs présentes dans le manoir de l'île. Chouette, joie, bonheur et félicité, hein, parce que, bien évidemment, je suis la dernière personne à probablement l'avoir vu, à part le tueur, hein. Mais bien évidemment, je l'ai pas buté, sinon ça serait pas drôle. Donc, je sais vraiment pas comment on va se sortir de là. Donc, on va découvrir ça ce soir. Est-ce qu'on va réussir à se sauver les miches? Ou est-ce qu'il va falloir qu'on parte crapahuter dans la nature pour retrouver maman? Parce que oui, à la base... c'était ça, hein, retrouver maman. Jouer. Voilà. Allez, c'est parti.
How many times must I tell you? You must never put your life on the line for me.
Mother has always had a fascination for Lord Mortimer, but has never wanted to tell me why.
We are doing our utmost to find your mother as quickly as possible. Without your mother, hundreds of men of the cloth would have gone to the guillotine.
All I can tell you is I'm looking for my sister.
Do you believe your mother capable of torturing a child?
An agreement for cannons. Lord Mortimer assured me that you are to take over the project on behalf of your mother.
Johann Christoph von Wollner, Minister of Religious Affairs, and Jacques Peroux, French Revolutionary Tribunal Judge. You will find that Lord Mortimer is not what one would call conventional, Monsieur de Richet. Monsieur de Richet, I am arresting you for the murder of Elizabeth Adams.
On est dans la merde. Alors, qu'est-ce qu'on va pouvoir étudier? On va prendre ça. Ah, je peux étudier deux trucs. Discours de la méthode. L'art de reconnaître les armes à la physionomie. Gna gna. Pensée de l'art. Compétences en érudition. Étiquette. Ouais, ça c'est mieux. Hop là. Alors je vous rappelle qu'on était venu chercher maman qui joue à cache-cache géant sur l'île, on sait pas pourquoi. Et qu'on a des personnages historiques, hein, puisqu'on a George Washington. La gamine qui a été butée, c'est celle du vice-président de Washington. Et il y a Anna Bonaparte.
Thank you. I wish to apologize wholeheartedly, Louis. I made you cross the seas, and I wasn't even here to welcome you. When I asked you to join us here, it was, of course, in the hope that you would help us find your mother. But an act of horrific violence occurred during the night, and I do not know if this is linked to the disappearance of Sarah.
Pourquoi on vient de récupérer Donald Sutherland?
What are you getting at? What act of violence?
We found Elizabeth Adams' body in her room. She was brutally murdered, stabbed several times. I'll get straight to the point, Louis. According to the initial elements at my disposal, you were the last person to see her alive.
Yes, last night we, Do you suspect me?
I want you to tell me everything that happened last night and leave nothing out. Tell me, how did the evening begin?
Duchess Hillsborough and I were returning to our rooms when Elizabeth came up to us. She was in a state of panic and insisted that she needed to speak to me. She said she feared for her life. I took my leave of the Duchess and followed Elizabeth to her room.
Continue.
She insisted we have a drink, without which she refused to confide anything.
What exactly did she want to speak about?
On va jouer l'honnêteté, on va bien voir comment on s'en sort.
She claimed she saw my mother the previous evening on the cliff, if I remember correctly.
Interesting. I will send someone as soon as possible. But do go on.
I refused to go on drinking with her. She already seemed drunk and her conversation became confused. So, then she ordered me to get out. If only I'd stayed.
Don't blame yourself, Louis. How could you have known? But thank you for this new information. Louis, I shan't hide the fact that this tragedy puts me in a very delicate situation. I cannot risk upsetting the smooth operation of our next conference. But the case cannot remain unaddressed.
I understand. What do you intend to do?
I must reassure my guests, and justice will be done. And for that to happen, I must ask for your help.
Why is that?
You met
Putain, mais
Elizabeth.
moi je vous croisais des beaux
You
vieux
spoke
comme ça
together,
plus
I
souvent, dis
believe.
donc.
She trusted you. Listen, Louis. Find out who could have committed this murder. I refuse to believe that one of my guests is the murderer. I want to know who is responsible for this. And I trust you. You have my backing. You must stop at nothing. Can I count on you?
Of course. How would you like me to proceed?
Maybe you could start by going to the scene of the crime. Elizabeth was attacked in her room.
Can you tell me anything else about what happened?
Now, Louis, I wouldn't want to influence you. Get over there and form your own opinion.
Ok, j'y
Right.
vais.
I'll get over there immediately.
Thank you, Louis. Now, once you've finished, come back and let me know your findings. I'll be waiting. And Louis, you've got permission to search through the guests' rooms. They've all been notified and they agree.
Ok. Ok, je suis là. Ok, bah tiens, là-bas, il y a son éminence. Puis pendant qu'on est là, on va en profiter pour fouiller un peu, hein. Vous savez comme je suis, hein. Moi, tendance à vouloir fouiller partout. Moi, vouloir fouiller partout.
The nightmare
Oui, le cauchemar, c'est bien ce qui me semblait. Alors si je pouvais... Ah, je peux pas le prendre? Eh non, je peux pas. Déjeuner royal, inventaire plein.
Honey,
Voilà.
I couldn't have hoped for better.
Ah. Je sais plus comment il s'appelle ce tableau avec les géants. C'est pas un Goya? C'est quoi ça? Bon, je sais pas, j'ai activé ça, comme ça me permet de récupérer celle-là. C'est moi ou il y a un perroquet quelque part qui doit faire cote-cote? Ouais, on fouille, hein. C'est quoi ça? Putain, c'est quoi comme personnage ça? Avec cette épée, le casque, le drapé, le sceptre, je sais pas ce qui c'est.
Which four-letter word could open this chest?
Mhm. peux pas faire CNRS. Tiens, ça vous m'ouvre pas le coffre? Putain, je suis triste, ça m'ouvre pas le coffre. Coucou Sally. Putain, je suis tristissime. Avec 15, ça vous m'ouvre pas ce putain de coffre. Putain. Non mais il y a un coco quelque part. Ah mais non, c'est pas un coco, c'est un putain de merle. C'est lui qui me parle depuis tout à l'heure. Allez parler à son éminence.
Your Eminence, I imagine that you've heard the news about Miss Adams.
What a tragedy, my son. How could such a thing have happened?
That's exactly what I'm trying to find out. Did you notice anything out of the ordinary last night?
I saw the young French soldier, Bonaparte, I believe, hanging around near Miss Adams' room. But I would not want to get an innocent man into trouble, Louis. It's probably nothing.
Not to worry, Your Eminence. If he is innocent, then he has nothing to fear. Do you know why Monsieur Bonaparte was hanging around her room like that?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised to learn that the dashing young soldier had become infatuated
Non mais
with the
Bonaparte, on va lui
fragile
péter les
young
genoux,
woman
hein, on est d'accord, hein.
who looked a bit lost. But I don't think he got a very warm welcome.
Bonaparte and Adams? But they didn't even know each other, did they?
I couldn't say, Louis. But if I were you, my son, I would talk to Monsieur Peru. You remember how violently he set upon Miss...
Ah bah oui, bah ça c'est sûr quand on
Oh,
va aller le
don't
voir,
worry.
l'autre connard.
He's on the list of suspects.
Hein? On se rappelle quand même la manière dont il a essayé de casser la gueule à la pauvre jeune fille, hein. Il y a un truc qui traîne par terre.
Dante's
Il y a un bouquin.
Purgatory.
Le
What is
purgatoire
your
de Dante.
mind presumed to flight when you're still like the imperfect grub, the worm before it's attained its final form? Charming.
Attends.
Dante's Purgatory. What is your mind presumed to flight when you're still like the imperfect grub, the worm before it's attained its final form? Charming.
Je m'étais dit qu'il y aurait peut-être un indice pour le coffre, mais bon, visiblement, j'ai pas... ça n'a pas fait tilt dans ma tête. Ok, je suis revenu là. Donc j'ai le droit d'aller visiter toutes les chambres. C'est génial, j'en ai une qui s'ouvre pas.
Monsieur Johann van Volner.
Mais oh, je peux ouvrir toutes les... Je peux aller voir les chambres, mais je peux pas rentrer, c'est nul. Bon, on va pas s'amuser à refaire tout le tour d'ici. On va essayer de rentrer dans les pioles. Enfin, je vais surtout aller voir la chambre d'Elisabeth. Ah, tiens, un autre vieux. Il y a beaucoup de vieux dans cette histoire, hein.
Monsieur de Richet.
Mr. Volner, are you looking for anything in particular? Next to Elizabeth's room?
No, nothing special.
Ah, pardon. Non, tu cherches rien de particulier. Insinuer qu'il est louche. Qu'y a-t-il dans le
Lord
couloir?
Mortimer must have informed you of the necessity for everyone to remain in their rooms until further notice.
Certainly, but I'm a guest, not a prisoner. I was looking for a servant, since we don't all, unfortunately, have one at our disposal.
Yeah, right.
I shall leave you now, sir. I will return to my room.
Mais tu sais, sinon tu peux te sortir les doigts du cul et faire les choses par toi-même, hein. Je dis ça, je dis rien, hein. Hein, mec? Et bon, c'est vrai que les aristos se sortirent les doigts du cul. Oh la pauvre. Mais non, moi je l'aimais bien. Elle était un peu chelou, mais
Knocked over bottle of wine.
oh putain.
Same thing Elizabeth served me last night. Still just as disgusting. I don't know what's happened to this wine, but it's undrinkable.
La pauvre. Oh putain, mon Dieu, ses yeux.
There are numerous marks on the body. She must have fought like a lion. It couldn't have happened without a lot of noise. There are also a number of old scars.
À mon avis, il y a de la scarification sur les bords, hein, mais c'est pas grave.
The scars are superficial and were made several years ago. She wasn't trying to take her own life.
Putain, je peux pas examiner les tatous, c'est la
People who scar
misère.
themselves in this way generally do so to relieve some kind of psychological suffering. By trying to master the pain, they establish their self-control. I count no fewer than 9 wounds on the thorax, with a lot of blood. On first sight, I'd say that's what caused her death. It looks as though the wounds were inflicted from a precise angle, as if
Oh,
the
regardez, il y a
murderer
du sang
was
là-bas
standing
derrière.
behind Elizabeth. Some of these tattoos are veritable works of... What's that? The skin between her breasts is different. Bloody hell! This tattoo was drawn on a page of leather and stitched onto her skin. Probably during childhood.
What?
The scars are anything to go by. It's the same kind of tattoo as on the rest of her body.
Qu'est-ce qu'on a fait à cette gamine, quoi?
I see no sign of bruising on the skull. The only clue is a scar from a previous craniectomy. Poor Elizabeth, she must have been very young when she went through all that. That's torture. She also has old scars around the neck, maybe mutilations.
Mais qu'est-ce qu'on a fait à cette pauvre gosse, quoi?
She bled from the nose. There's signs of bleeding, but I don't see any traces of bruising. What a strange smell. Her breath smells of alcohol and of laudanum. People use it to relieve pain. No wounds, but blood on the right hand. Nothing on the left except that tattooed symbol. No marks or bruising around the wrists. Doesn't look like she was tied up or held by force. No marks or bruising around the wrists. Doesn't look like she was tied up or held by force. Blood, but no trace of blows on the legs.
On va peut-être vérifier ça, ouais.
Let's see. No trace of sexual assault or rape.
Ouf.
The direction of the blood streaks caused by the wounds to the thorax.
Elle a
show
pas
that
été
she was
agressée
standing
sexuellement,
when
j'ai
she
envie de dire
lost
c'est déjà
blood.
ça, la pauvre petite.
This proves that she was standing when she was assassinated. Possibly held by someone or something. More tattoos, similar to those on the rest of her body.
Moi, je crois qu'on a fait à peu près le tour, là, la pauvre. Merde, c'est pas ça que je voulais faire. Ah! Un petit couteau.
The handprint on the handle is really small. I can't imagine a man with a hand that size. It must be from a woman's hand.
Alors,
Poor girl bled to death.
tu
Where
vois dans les
left that
potions,
footprint
j'avais
has
l'air con.
boats for feet. That's at least a size 15. Where's a size like that here? Peru? Washington, maybe.
Donc on va chercher quelqu'un qui a des grands pieds, quelqu'un qui a une petite main. Un coffre.
A chest with a half-circle pattern.
Et j'ai pas la clé, évidemment. Là, il y a du sang quand même, hein. Pourquoi on peut pas observer? C'est nul. Bah, qu'est-ce qu'il fait là, lui?
Sir finished with his room?
No, I haven't gone over everything yet.
Sir may take his time. When Sir would like to leave, Sir has only to tell me.
Bon, je voudrais surtout que tu
My dear
dégages.
Elizabeth,
Ah oui, ça c'est la lettre de sa sœur, on avait déjà exploré.
The clock stopped at 3:54. If it was smashed during the murder, then I've just established the time of the crime. Huh. The talisman that I gave back to Elizabeth. I can't exactly say it brought her good luck.
Ok.
A pentagram. What the hell's been going on here? I wonder if Elizabeth's death has anything at all to do with this pentagram. If a ritual went wrong and degenerated, Elizabeth would probably have been killed in the center of the pentagram, not 3 meters from here. That's strange.
Il y a peut-être quelqu'un qui l'a aidé, hein. Je vois mal la pauvre fille se foutre 9 coups de poignard, hein.
Large quantities could knock out a bull. Could Elizabeth have been drugged? If the body wounds are anything to go by, then clearly not. She put up a fierce fight.
Alors, j'ai pas envie de regarder les flacons parce que c'est le coup en train de se taper à main loose parce que tu sniffes le truc et
A notebook, written in Elizabeth's handwriting. It is written in a mix of several languages. Not too easy to work out.
Putain, je peux pas le déchiffrer.
August 24th.
Alors ça c'est les lettres qu'on avait déjà
June 11th.
vues.
17th.
Parce que qu'on était déjà rentré en loose D. Ah, un pistolet dis donc.
A pistol? Fairly new, I'd say. And judging by the weight of it, fairly light. There's a few dried traces of blood on the grip. Difficult to know for sure how they got there. A tribute engraved on the barrel. To the liberators of France.
J'étais sûr, j'ai failli le dire, ça c'est un coup des Français.
Extremely well maintained. The barrel is perfectly clean. It isn't loaded and well, there's no traces of gunshot residue. I'd conclude that it hasn't been used recently. Right. I shall have to find its owner.
On peut pas sortir.
Piece of fabric. High quality at that. I'd say it's silk. Going by the texture and the gray hue, it must come from a dress, that kind that women of quality wear.
The color doesn't correspond to Emily's black outfits, and Elizabeth doesn't have anything quite like this in her wardrobe. Let's take a closer look. It's a little dirty. It must come from the bottom of the dress where it touches the ground. I recognize that moire pattern. It's the same as the travel dress my mother was wearing when she left. But why the hell did she come into this room?
Il y a vraiment des trucs louches hein, dans cette histoire. Alors pour y avoir ma mère, les Français. Bon, on va dire qu'on a fait le tour, hein.
Has Sir finished with this room?
I know enough now. Thank you.
Very well, sir. Sir may return whenever need be. I shall guard the door.
Voilà. La sortie a été brutale. Bon. On va essayer de fouiller la chambre de ces comptes français. C'est chez qui là?
George Washington.
On va peut-être parler à Washington. Il va peut-être faire la gueule.
Golden Elixir. A map of Vermont.
J'ai même pas fait gaffe s'il était là l'animal. J'ai pas l'impression.
Map of Massachusetts.
Je sais pas si la présence des tableaux a une signification ou... Ah si, il est là l'animal. Ce qu'on va faire, c'est qu'on va fouiller sa piole et après on ira lui en toucher deux mots.
Looks like a note between Emily and Washington about trade deals.
Putain, je peux pas les interpréter, c'est la misère.
My dear George, I'd like to invite you to join me as planned at my place. I have a project to show you. It is time that the United States played a more important role on the world stage. I understand your reluctance of playing with fire. I know your new country is very young, but rest assured that I would do nothing to jeopardize what we have built together. I look forward to seeing you soon. Your friend, William.
On va d'abord... Allez, on s'occupe de fouiller la piole de Washington. On sait jamais. Putain, j'en ai marre de pas pouvoir ouvrir ces cons de coffres.
Portrait of George Washington.
Attends, le mec, il prend son bain au-dessus d'un portrait de lui. Il est où le petit marquis? Bah, il est pas là. On lui a préféré Bonaparte. Il est peut-être mort, je sais pas. Je sais pas quand c'est qu'il est mort, Lafayette. Je peux pas sortir. Non mais le mec, hein. Ah oui, je peux pas. Putain de coffre. Bon, tant pis, on faut qu'on cause.
Greetings, Louis.
Mr. President, you can guess why I'm here.
Of course.
Lord Mortimer has sent me to ask you a few questions about last night.
It's... How am I going to tell Elizabeth's father that she's dead?
I know, Mr. President. I shall endeavor to find out the truth about this tragedy. I must ask you to help me, though. Please.
Find the degenerate pig who did this, Louis.
Alors...
Are you all right, Mr. President? Are you feeling all right?
Oh, don't worry. It's this rotten toothache. What do you expect? I'm no spring chicken now.
Tell me, Mr. President, had you spoken to Elizabeth since your arrival? You know her father. You thought she was dead.
No, I didn't. And I believe I'll be taking my remorse with me to my grave. I wanted to, but I didn't know where to begin.
You can't blame yourself. You couldn't have known that her days were numbered. Were you aware that Elizabeth took laudanum?
Yes, she came to ask me for some. She had finished her reserve, I believe.
Did she tell you why she was so desperate to get some, Mr. President?
She said she had terrible migraines that wouldn't go away.
More likely for the voices she heard, not the migraines. Do you know if she had any enemies, Mr. President?
Not that I know of. I heard about her altercation with Mr. Perry, but that case was closed if I'm not mistaken. But if in doubt, I wouldn't leave any door unopened, and I'd go and question your fellow countrymen.
Don't worry, countryman or not, I'm not letting anybody slip through the cracks. Do you know why she came to the island?
To get help, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that right?
Indeed. Sir Gregory suggested to her father that he introduce her to Lord Mortimer to see if he could help her. It would appear that she wasn't invited to the conference.
That doesn't surprise me. The poor girl was in no way concerned by our business, and she had no political clout.
So, I don't understand why Sir Gregory invited her during the conference of his good friend Lord Mortimer. He must have realized that he wouldn't have much time to grant her. Preparing a conference does not seem an easy task. On the evening of our arrival, Lord Mortimer didn't even welcome us, what with his being so busy and all.
Yes, you're right, Louis. I didn't think of that. It is indeed rather surprising. The easiest thing to do is simply ask him, you know.
Of course. Mr. President, we found a footprint at the scene of the crime.
Not a dress shoe, I hope. That's all I wear.
No, rest assured. It looks like the print of a big ankle boot. A large size, I'd say.
Perfect. That should help you, Louis. It's a clue.
Non mais en fait je voulais savoir si ça pouvait être peut-être toi, abruti. Bon. On n'a plus trop rien à faire chez Wash. On va aller voir ailleurs si on y plaide. J'aimerais bien aller voir les chambres de nos deux petits connards de français là. C'est la chambre de qui là? Personne.
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi.
Pourquoi je peux pas aller chez le curé? C'est dégueulasse. Ça c'est ma piole je crois. Ou pas.
Duke Manuel Godoy.
Je peux pas entrer, c'est pas juste. Est-ce que je vais pouvoir aller chez Na Bonaparte? Allez. Odine? T'es pas en train de manger un bout de plastique? Non? Hop là.
The Prince by Machiavelli. A perfect read for anyone with a surfeit of ambition. That might come in handy.
Immunité découverte. Des bottes. Ah mais je t'avais... T'étais tellement petit que je t'avais même pas vu. Pardon.
dearest son, I'm writing to implore you to act quickly. The situation is rapidly worsening here. Paoli continues to steer our motherland, Corsica, toward open warfare between France and England. His men are everywhere. We are obliged to go into hiding and are unable to remain in the same place for more than 2 days. I wouldn't be surprised if they targeted us soon. Make haste, my son. You hold our destiny in your hands. Your loving mother, Maria Letizia Bonaparte. A bicorn decorated with a cockade. It must belong to a French soldier.
Semble il y en a Bonaparte.
Hannibal crossing the Alps. Another military success. Why do
Ouais,
I
enfin
get
le mec
nothing
qui
but
s'est fait chier à
visions of
traverser
war
les
in
Alpes,
my
voilà,
room,
pourquoi?
and he gets victory after victory?
Le mec qui s'est fait chier à traverser les Alpes pour aller perdre comme un
The
connard
Battle
aux
of
portes de
Alexander
Rome.
Issus, or how Alexander the Great triumphed over King Darius. Yet another one with delusions of grandeur.
Ça c'est César. Non, il manque un bout du tableau, il manque Vercingétorix. Coucou Catherine, comment ça va? Comment vas-tu depuis ce matin?
French actor Talma is Nero in Britannicus, the last emperor of the Caesar dynasty. Amber.
Je suis en train de fouiller la chambre de Bonaparte. Un peu fatigué, j'ai bien taffé, je suis un peu KO. D'accord. Bon après si t'as bien taffé, c'est bien.
There's just one holster in Bonaparte's gear, and the pistol is missing. On the other hand, his cleaning equipment is in mint condition. That's typical of the soldier in him.
Non mais j'en étais tellement sûr que le pistolet qu'on a trouvé dans la chambre de la petite, il était à Bonaparte.
My dear Napoleon, as previously agreed, I would like to ask you to join us in January on my island to participate in the High Society meeting organized for the occasion. We shall be able to continue our discussion about our project for a new order for France. I have a proposition to make to you concerning your wish to put a strong leader at the head of France. I trust you to be discreet as to your coming. See you soon. Lord William Mortimer.
De toute façon, tu récupères un pistolet, tu dis... Ah bah voilà le tableau.
Vercingetorix throws down his arms at the feet of Julius Caesar by Royer, two great army chiefs.
Ouais, sauf que Vercingétorix, il a rien de gaulois là, mais c'est pas grave.
It's a beautiful weapon. A lovely damask blade. It's marked with the initials of the manufacturer in Versailles.
Immunité découverte, conviction. Comment on fait déjà pour voir... non. Il est où? Il est où Nabo? Il est là. Immunité. Donc je peux pas l'avoir à la conviction, je peux pas l'avoir à la politique. Ça c'est chiant.
Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost.
Alors, faut qu'on te parle, toi.
Monsieur de Richet, please be quick. We are both very busy.
Alors c'est moi, il parle avec un French accent absolument épouvantable.
Did you hear about young Elizabeth?
Indeed, it is deeply regrettable.
Lord Mortimer asked me to...
I know. You no doubt want to know my alibi. I spent the night downstairs playing cards.
Mon Dieu, quelle horreur. Oh putain, mon Dieu. Oh putain. Oh putain. Oh putain, mais quelle horreur. Je dois faire un clip. Oh mon Dieu. Oh putain. J'en peux plus.
Can you tell me who was present at the game, please?
Well, there were Lord Mortimer, President Washington, and Sir Gregory.
Thank you.
Ah, and His Eminence Piaggi as well. Excuse me, I nearly forgot him. Poor soul.
What time did the game end?
I can't say exactly. As for me, I must have stayed until midnight. I was exhausted, couldn't think straight, so I preferred to go up to bed.
On your way up to bed, did you notice anything out of the ordinary?
No, not in the least. The whole manor was sound asleep.
Not really. No. Did you notice anything unusual during the evening?
Nothing at all, except the luck of the devil of Lord Mortimer and Sir Gregory at cards.
Did they win much?
Oh la la, monsieur, they cleaned us out more like. But I plan on getting it all back before we leave.
En tout cas, ouais, les oreilles qui saignent.
Did any of you leave during the game?
Not that I know of, monsieur. I didn't exactly spend my time noting the other guests' comings and goings, but I don't think so.
Thank you. As any good soldier would, I imagine you own a firearm. May I see it?
Oh, well, if you really want to, here is my pistol. Don't worry, it is not loaded.
Do you have several of these?
In Corsica, oui, but not on me when I am traveling. Only a bandit would carry such an arsenal.
Thank you. Someone saw you not far from the victim's room. Can you tell me what you were doing exactly, please?
I can tell you that someone is an idiot. I wanted to warn her to be careful. You see, on the night of my arrival, I saw someone leaving her room in haste, and I wanted to speak to her, to warn her. Unfortunately, the young lady slipped through my fingers each time. Now I know why. She had every reason to be worried. What an idiot I was not to insist. I could have helped her.
I've been studying him for a while now, and I don't think he was lying. Yet, I'm surprised how easy it was for me to read him. It must surely be his military side. I wish they all could be like that. My investigation would be finished already.
Well, have we finished, monsieur?
Exactly. Thanks again for all your answers. Good day.
Oh mon dieu, les gens se font rire. Se font rire. French accent. I hope I don't speak like that. Bon là, je pense qu'avec le gros Perru, on a intérêt à faire gaffe parce que je pense que le mec, il va pas être aimable. Ouais.
What do you want from me, de Richet?
Greetings. Casser la gueule.
It's fallen to me
Cut
that...
the crap! Get to the point. We both know why you're here.
And have you got anything to tell me?
What does it matter? It's too late anyway. Do what you have to do and get out.
It's never too late, sir. If you have something to say, now is the time.
You don't understand. Everything's already written. It's over.
Why is he behaving like the perfect culprit? What is it that's already written? I'm not sure I follow you.
No, you don't.
Alors, on va fouiller sa piole à lui.
The Massacre of the Innocents by Rubens. A bit gloomy. Guess my room is not that bad.
J'en ai marre de pas pouvoir ouvrir ces cons de coffres.
An old sesterce from Roman Gaul. A pattern with 4 circles.
Il va vraiment que j'arrive à trouver des clés quelque part. En plus, j'en ai une ou deux, quelques-unes de clés. 5 cercles. Voilà, j'ai 3 clés. Évidemment, j'ai pas trouvé les coffres qui vont avec.
The Massacre of the Innocents, but by Van Harlem. I think that Mortimer likes to play mind games with his guests.
Alors, je veux pas dire un mec qui a 40 000 tableaux du massacre des innocents, je dis le mec qui pue. J'ignore si nous nous reverrons. Je suis prisonnier aujourd'hui, piégé par mes propres décisions. Tu dois être protégé. Mon avenir est perdu, mais toi, tu peux encore être sauvé. Quelle que soit la rancœur que tu auras contre moi, sache que j'ai pactisé avec un diable que je pensais maîtriser. Je croyais que je connaissais les monstres, mais ce que j'ai fait pour la France n'est rien comparé à ce dont ils sont coupables. Aujourd'hui, je ne vois pas d'issue, les mâchoires sont refermées sur moi. Je t'aime maintenant et à jamais. Je peux pas sortir, c'est louche. Ah, lui, il prend ses bains au milieu de la piole, comme ça. Washington, il a un peu de décence, il y a le paravent.
Records of the police. Notes intended for the police lieutenant of Paris. It's a list of people under surveillance in Paris. And there's some well-known names on it. This is valuable information. This shouldn't be lying around.
Putain, où c'est qu'on l'a vu le truc à 4 cercles?
Please come and join us. We must meet about the ongoing operations in Paris. A boat will be waiting for you in Calais and will take you to Dover in England. From there, a carriage will take you to the port of Tintagel, where a frigate will be waiting for you and other guests, so you can meet up with me on my island as quickly as possible. I await your arrival. Lord William Mortimer.
C'est quoi ça? Un chausse-pied ou une pelle à tarte? Il y a beaucoup de trucs un peu glauques là, non? Putain, le truc à 4 cercles, c'est pas chez Bonaparte qu'on l'a trouvé?
Nice decor for a Revolutionary Tribunal judge's room.
Allez, qu'on cause, mec.
Right.
Coucou Rachel, comment ça va?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions.
Alors.
I know you were at the scene. We will save a lot of time if you just tell me what happened.
You know nothing at all.
Enlighten me then. For now, I have your footprint in a pool of blood.
That's right. The only thing you can prove is one of my boots was at the scene. Congratulations, you've wrapped up the investigation.
Non mais parle-moi, connard.
All right. Have you finished?
Non.
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions.
Alors, je veux quand même pas dire. Je suis d'accord avec lui, c'est pas parce qu'on a trouvé sa botte sur la scène du crime que lui était dans la botte. On est d'accord, hein?
Let's get right to it. Are you Elizabeth Adams' murderer?
That is for you to prove, if I'm not mistaken, boy. You weren't expecting me to do all the legwork for you, were you? Lazy man.
J'aurais dû savoir que l'interroger, ça allait être la merde.
You were armed the night of my arrival. Can I see your weapon?
No.
You do realize you're not helping, don't you? You're making it worse for yourself. I'd like to talk about the letter you're writing. What woman is it addressed to?
Who says it's a woman? I'm not saying any more. There's no point you insisting.
Ah putain, je me trompe de... Je crois que la clé, c'était dans la chambre de Bonaparte. Putain, Putain, mais j'aurais dû me douter que le mec, il est... Enfin, une espèce de brutal, parce que les interrogatoires, ça allait pas lui parler. Alors Rachel, t'as loupé le fou rire de tout à l'heure avec Napoléon et son French accent, c'était juste magique. Putain, non, c'était pas là. Putain, il était où ce coffret? Ah, j'étais sûre que le coffret était là et merde. Oh, il y a un truc qui traîne là. Bon, et continuez d'examiner les chambres. C'est ça le clip qu'a fait Salina? Ouais, c'est ça. C'était magique. Les demi-cercles obtenus, hein. Oh putain, il a l'air pas mal le petit-déj. Oh là là, mais on n'en pouvait plus. Putain, mais c'est pas dégueu. Il y a des fruits, il y a des légumes partout. Ah oui, l'accent et la tête de Napoléon en plus. Ouais, non, mais c'est Bonaparte, hein. S'il y a une sale gueule, c'est normal, hein. Ah, mais le fraîche accent, putain, mais j'en pouvais plus. Il court bizarrement, ton perso. Ouais, c'est pas faux. Mais c'est peut-être parce qu'il a un gros cul. Je dis ça, puis les mecs comme un clou. Alors, je sais pas dans la chambre de qui je suis rentrée. Bon, on va fouiller, puis on va bien voir ce qu'on trouve. La fille, elle fouille tout comme une connasse, tu sais.
Golden elixir.
Ça, c'est pas mal. Hop, je bute sur la chilienne.
The alchemist is a young man.
On va se retrouver avec des trucs d'alchimiste, c'est ça. Un coffret.
A chest locked with a 4-letter code. Surely a word close to the owner's heart.
Je sais pas. Un truc en rapport à l'alchimiste avec 4 lettres. Ah, je suis chez notre premier... notre ministre du culte, là. Il va falloir qu'on cause, mec. D'abord, on va fouiller ta piole.
Amber crystals. The alchemist is an old man.
Voilà, ouais, des mecs qui sont corrects, ils ont une baignoire dans un coin. Allez, bah merci Catherine d'être passée, passe un bon live. Je peux pas le prendre, je sais pas pourquoi. Toi aussi, t'as tes bouts qui sont là, hop, on cause monsieur. Il y a beaucoup trop de vieux dans le jeu.
Monsieur, Lord Mortimer has appointed me to investigate the tragedy that befell us last night.
Oh, yes. It's horrible. Yes. How can I help, monsieur?
Bah, répondre à mes questions.
Where were you
Je
last
peux pas
night?
faire, ça m'énerve.
In my room. I read a few ancient manuscripts before going to bed, but I didn't stay up long. I was tired.
Thank you kindly.
Bon, j'ai pas grand chose à lui dire de plus, malheureusement.
We finished. I'll have a look around and then take my leave.
Do whatever you have to do.
Ok Rachel, à plus. Travaille bien. Parce que je sais que tu vas chez Catherine pour écrire. T'as intérêt d'aller chez Catherine pour écrire. Ah maman dodo. Est-ce que c'était là?
A chest with a half circle
Non,
pattern.
putain! Si. Ah, si! Utiliser la clé, oui.
An untutored hand copied these notes. Looks like a healing method. Well, that's a pity. The writing is barely legible. The note suggests binding the feet and hands, then blocking the jaws using a piece of cloth to prevent the tongue from being sectioned. That looks like a method to control an epileptic fit. I wonder if Elizabeth is the one being treated for that illness.
Je suis pas dans le reflet, c'est nul. Mais bon. Je suis pas rentrée dans la chambre de ma copine là. Elle est où la chambre de l'autre meuf? Non, c'est chez Washington. Mais il n'y avait pas aussi un coffret ici? Attendez. Non, c'était pas là. En attendant, ça change pas grand chose parce que j'ai toujours pas trouvé la chambre de ma camarade là. La chambre d'Elisabeth, elle est où?
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi.
Je peux pas aller chez Piaggi, c'est nul ça. Ça c'est la...
Huh, that's me.
Ouais, mais j'ai pas trouvé la chambre d'Elisabeth, dis donc. C'est la seule que je suis pas allée visiter.
Duke Manuel Godoy.
Alors lui, il est pas là encore, Godoy, là.
Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
Voilà. Je l'ai pas encore fait, la chambre de la meuf.
King George III in coronation robes. Nice touch for the room of an English duchess. Tending children at the orphanage in Harlem. I find it a little hard to understand this painting choice. Amber.
Ça, l'ombre, c'est bien, ça me donne des espèces de points de vie en plus. L'importance de bien fouiller les gens.
Dear E, I received your last letter. Unfortunately, the Crown informed the Golden Order that our mission should under no circumstances hamper Sir Gregory's plans. Decidedly, they have support from the highest level in Buckingham Palace. So here we both are, hands and feet tied, and little room to maneuver. Keep me abreast of events. Our mission is becoming more complicated. Yours, E. P.S. The French chapter of the Order doesn't appear to know anything about the arrival of our friend Sarah. I therefore cannot comment on it. However, my guess is that she has come here for personal reasons.
Grammar of Port-Royal. Ah, the artistry of the French language in all its splendor. Whoever masters French commands the world. At least une partie of it.
The Lady's Waldegrave by Reynolds, painted upon the request of the Waldegrave family, in an effort to find them a husband. Displayed like meat. It's disgusting.
A letter from William Pitt the Younger, addressed to Emily. He's the present Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Emily has indeed some powerful backers. Madam, thank you for consoling the Queen. The King's situation is worsening, but I wager he'll recover from this present fit. Next time you speak with Her Majesty the Queen, would you please be so kind as to ask her to look into my petition to raise taxes with the King? I will personally see to it that our nation will recover from this impasse. But King George's mental situation is slowing down our decision-taking. Thank you in advance for all your help. William Pitt, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom of Great Britain.
Duchesse, vous pouvez informer le roi George du soutien du Saint-Père. Nous vous aiderons à financer le recrutement de régiments d'émigrés royalistes afin de lutter contre la France. Votre ami. Pourquoi il y a un truc un peu rigolo?
Two coils circle the lock.
J'ai pas la clé.
Queen Charlotte. All the royal family of England is there from what I can tell.
A letter from William Pitt the Elder, addressed to Emily. He was the English Prime Minister. This letter dates from 15 years ago now. Madam, I shall never thank you enough for all your care and attention. I shall be indebted to you until my last breath. If you have any request of me, you only need ask. With regards to my son William, I shall never thank you enough for looking after him. You know the latter's preferences, and you will understand he needs you desperately. For that, and as agreed with Queen Charlotte, our friend Duke Hillsborough will carry out his task and meet with you within 6 months. From then on, you'll be free from want. Yours sincerely, William Pitt, Count of Chatham.
Ok.
A devil's thorn, to be used to uncover the best disguised traits.
Je sais plus ce que c'est la croix de Malte. Ça peut être bien pendant les dialogues. Hop. Sur sa coiffeuse, qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Inventaire plein. Alors, ma chère,
What can I do for you, Louis?
I've come to see you about last night's tragedy. Did you hear anything
Madame à
about what
moitié
happened
nue.
to Elizabeth?
Yes, we all did. Rumors spread quickly, you know. How awful. I didn't know her well, but I hope at least the poor thing didn't suffer too much.
C'est pas vraiment ce qu'on pourrait dire. Alors, je sais plus c'est quoi ses vulnérabilités à elle déjà. Elle est où? Emily. Vulnérable à la psychologie.
Death came quickly. You can be assured of that.
If such a senseless act can happen here, then none of us is truly safe anywhere. Lord Mortimer must be mortified that one of his guests could have committed such an act, don't you think?
He is indeed very upset about it. It's only natural after such a violent murder.
Violent? What do you mean?
Elizabeth was stabbed 9 times.
Oh my God, Louis. How awful. The murderer must have had a serious grudge against her to set upon her like that. It must have been a crime of passion. Do you know what happened exactly?
In fact, Lord Mortimer has asked me to look into this case, Emily.
Really? Are you Lord Mortimer's snoop now?
I'm doing it for Elizabeth, not to please Mortimer.
Good for you. Quite right, too. Have you found out anything?
I'm now interviewing all the guests to establish the alibis for each person. Just so that I can cross you off the list of suspects, can you tell me what you were doing on the night of the murder?
Am I given to understand that I'm on the list of suspects?
Of course, miss.
Don't take it the wrong way, but I must consider every possibility.
Well, if you absolutely wanted to be sure of my activities that evening, you only had to join me, you know.
I know, Emily. Especially since I couldn't prevent the murder, even though I spent part of the evening with Elizabeth.
You're sure it's not too hard to bear for you?
The fact is, I don't have a choice. But I will find the murderer. I owe Elizabeth that, at least.
Mais alors?
Did you and Elizabeth get to know each other?
Pardon, Dodo.
I must admit, Louis, I didn't take much interest in her. I feel a bit guilty about it, but I never actually spoke to her. She seemed burdened by her problems, and as she wasn't invited to the conference, I didn't really seek her out.
I hear you were in discussions with the Holy See.
Oh, either His Eminence can't keep his tongue from wagging, or you've been poking your nose where you shouldn't, sir.
Even so, Emily, you're raising a royalist army. That's no small matter.
And you are straying from the subject. Is there anything else you wanted to ask me?
I found a torn piece of dress in Miss Adams' room. Gray silk.
Where's it from?
That's what I'm trying to find out. The color doesn't match any of Elizabeth's dresses, but I might not have found all of her clothes yet.
Good Lord, Louis, do you realize what this means? If this piece of dress isn't from Elizabeth, then it's... I don't have any grey silk dresses, Louis. Neither does my sister, since we wear the same clothes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to check with you.
I'm so sorry, Louis.
Thank you.
Are you all right? You know, I'm sure there's a good reason why your mother was at the scene.
Thank you, Emily.
Alors moi je vais pas dire, c'est pas parce que t'as retrouvé le morceau d'une robe que ça veut dire qu'il y avait une femme dedans. Hein. L'autre il t'a fait remarquer que c'est pas parce qu'il y avait l'empreinte de sa botte qu'il y avait l'empreinte que sa botte que lui était dedans.
I won't keep you, Emily. Thank you for answering my questions.
See you, Louis.
Je peux pas descendre. Je peux pas avoir un petit bilan de ce que j'ai fait. Non. Il me manque quand même 2 personnes. Et c'est pas ma mère. Il y a 2 pingouins qu'on sait pas qui c'est.
Monsieur Napoléon Bonaparte.
Moi, je vais retourner voir Lord Mortimer si je peux. Parce que là, j'avoue que pour le coup, je sais pas trop quoi faire d'autre. Je suis un peu déboussolée. Donna, tu fais un de ces potins quand tu bouffes les croquettes, je t'entends jusqu'ici. Alors, est-ce que ça, c'est très sécurité pour les enfants?
I've come to speak about the findings of the investigation, my lord.
I'm listening, Louis.
Will you remind me of the facts we already know about?
Elizabeth Adams was killed last night, but Piaggi was with Holm and I until late at night. As for Bonaparte and Washington, they left us after midnight, both tired.
Ouais,
I'll
non.
be in touch as soon as I have any more information.
Ouais, parce que pour l'instant, dire que j'ai un coupable... Enfin, ça fait tellement obvious que c'est l'autre, la perruque, je trouve ça tellement louche. Je veux pas qu'on parle de
What
tes
a
lettres avec
tragedy, my
Elisabeth.
son. How could such a thing have happened?
That's exactly what I'm trying to find out. Did you notice anything out of the ordinary last night?
I saw the young French soldier, Bonaparte, I believe, hanging around near Miss Adams' room. But I would not want to get an innocent man into trouble, Louis. It's probably nothing. But if I were you, my son, I would talk to Monsieur Peru. You remember how violently he set upon Miss Adams.
Oh, don't worry. He's on the list of suspects.
Ouais, je suis un peu emmerdée là parce que dire que j'ai un coupable, c'est... Ça m'embête un peu en fait.
Which four-letter word could open this chest?
C'est pas qu'un... Ça m'attriste. Il y a forcément quelque chose que j'ai loupé quelque part. Ça me perturbe. Il y avait pas un truc qui brillait là, non? Non. On peut pas descendre du coup, pas du tout. Non. Bon, j'essaie d'aller retourner avec les pingouins. Parce que pour l'instant, pour moi, j'ai pas de coupable. Dire que j'ai un coupable, ça me paraît un peu exagéré.
All right. Have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions. I'd like to talk about the letter you're writing. What woman is it addressed to?
Who says it's a woman? I'm not saying any more. There's no point you insisting.
Allez,
All
parle!
right. Have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions. You were armed the night of my arrival. Can I see your weapon?
No.
You do realize you're not helping, don't you? You're making it worse for yourself. I know you were at the scene. We will save a lot of time if you just tell me what happened.
You know nothing at all.
Enlighten me then. For now, I have your footprint in a pool of blood.
That's right. The only thing you can prove is one of my boots was at the scene. Congratulations, you've wrapped up the investigation.
A pattern with 4 circles. Dear Monsieur Peru, I'm writing to thank you for the funds you sent. These funds will be crucial for the renovation of the western wing of the orphanage. The children you sent are doing marvelously well, and little Pierre will soon be walking. Some of them still sometimes suffer nightmares about their parents on the scaffold, but I expect they will cease in due course. Should you decide to send us more, please note that another 20 beds will soon be ready. The children and myself will never thank you enough. Long live the Republic. Long live France. Sister Marie-Hélène. I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later. I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later.
Je suis tellement full. Bon, je suis pas plus avancée. Je suis pas plus avancée.
Ce Jacques Perru.
Là, c'est chez Nabo. J'ai un coup d'air. T'as pas des choses à dire, nous, avec ton frère? Je vais quand même pas dire, mais le Jacques Perru parle quand même mieux anglais.
Please
Hein.
be quick. We are both very busy.
Someone saw you not far from the victim's room. Can you tell me what you were doing exactly, please?
I can tell you that someone is an idiot.
On
I
est
wanted to
d'accord.
warn her to be careful. You see, on the night of my arrival, I saw someone leaving her room in haste, and I wanted to speak to her, to warn her. Unfortunately, the young lady slipped through my fingers each time. Now I know why. She had every reason to be worried. What an idiot I was not to insist. I could have helped her.
Were you able to recognize the prowler?
Unfortunately not, no. It was dark, and Lord Mortimer was waiting for me. I was not really paying attention anyway.
Ah, attendez, je crois qu'il est bon sur les interrogatoires, lui. Non, conviction politique.
Excuse me for insisting, but if you saw him or her, I'm sure you would have more information than that. It's just that you don't think it can be of help to me.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Was it a woman, for instance? Bearing in mind that all the women here wear whalebone dresses, which is rather noticeable.
A man, I should say. I don't recall seeing the silhouette of a dress.
You see, you saw many things, in fact.
Hang on. Laissez-moi réfléchir. Let me think a minute.
A wig? His height? The sound of his footsteps, maybe.
Ah, his height. Oui, somewhat imposing. A tall man, and straight. As for the rest, I don't know, Monsieur de Richet.
Not to worry. That's already quite a lot. Thank you for everything.
Ok.
I've been studying him for a while now, and I don't think he was lying. Yet, I'm surprised how easy it was for me to read him. It must surely be his military side. I wish they all could be like that. My investigation would be finished already.
Well, have we finished, monsieur?
Exactly. Thanks again for all your answers. Good day.
Ouais. C'est pas simple, hein. Parce que ça fait tellement gros que ça soit le Jacques Perru que je trouve ça louche vu le type de jeu. Puis bon, ce que je comprends pas, c'est qu'il y a un morceau de la robe de ma mère qui a été trouvé là-bas. Je peux pas descendre ici non plus. J'ai rien loupé là. Lui, il est pas là, donc on va peut-être le rencontrer plus tard. Ça, c'est ma chambre.
Huh, that's me.
Alors moi, ce que je comprends pas, c'est qu'on peut pas aller dans la chambre du cardinal. Je trouve ça super louche. Franchement, pour moi, les deux suspects, c'est quand même Washington et Pérou. Mais bon.
President George
Ça, j'y suis
Washington.
déjà allé. Coucou Odine. Ah, je suis pas du tout satisfaite de mon truc là. Ça m'embête, ça m'embête.
Pistol? Fairly new, I'd say. And judging by the weight of it, fairly light. Right. I shall have to find its owner.
Oh là là. Ça, on a déjà observé. Toi, t'as toujours rien à nous dire? Non, non! Tant pis. Bon, tant pis, on va retourner voir Lord Mortimer et puis on va tenter le coupable et puis on va bien voir comment ça se passe. Mais autant vous dire que je suis pas, mais pas du tout satisfaite pour l'instant de ce que j'ai pu découvrir, honnêtement.
Monsieur Johann van Wollner.
Oui, mais je lui ai déjà parlé à celui-là aussi. Parce que ça pourrait être Perru, ça pourrait être ma mère. Il y a le flingue de... Ouh. Pardon, il y a le flingue de Bonaparte, mais... Ça va, ma dudonnette? C'est quoi ce regard tout triste? Ouais, je suis pas du tout convaincue. Et ce putain de trou au milieu de nulle part, mec! Bon, on va voir ce que ça donne, mais je suis pas du tout persuadée.
I've come to speak about the findings of the investigation, my lord.
I'm listening, Louis.
I believe I've identified the murderer.
Really, Louis? All right then. Please think carefully before you give me your answer. This is a very, very serious accusation.
Putain. Honnêtement, j'ai aucune idée. Je suis comme un con, je sais pas quoi dire. Je vois pas pourquoi ça serait une femme. Je vois ni pourquoi Emily, ni pourquoi ma mère l'aurait buté. Oh putain. Bon, allez. Ça me paraît gros.
It would appear that Monsieur Peru is the culprit.
What proof do you have against him?
I found a footprint in the victim's blood. The size corresponds to a very tall man.
That's certainly suspicious.
He hit her before yesterday evening. His Eminence Piaggi can testify to that fact.
Ah, very interesting. Anything else?
His weapon was in Elizabeth's room, which proves he was present at the scene of the crime.
I see. What else?
I believe there's enough here to prove his guilt.
Very well.
I'll share your conclusion with Gregory, and then I shall take care of everything from now on. Given the eminent guests and the important political issues involved, I trust you will leave me to conclude the case in my own way. Right. It's time we spoke about your mother, Louis.
Pas du tout satisfaite de mon truc.
She seems to be making every effort to steer clear of your guests.
What do you mean?
For the past few weeks, my mother's been playing cat and mouse, if you will. I don't know why, but it wouldn't surprise me to learn that she's trying to avoid someone. The question is, who?
And in your opinion, would she be the cat or the mouse?
Moi, je dirais bien les deux, mais bon.
I'd like to answer the cat, but unfortunately I'm increasingly worried that she's in fact the mouse.
That doesn't make me feel any better, Louis.
What was the official reason why my mother came to your island?
I knew about your mother's activities, and yours, in the Golden Order. I thought we had everything to gain by working together.
You mean the cannon deal with Monsieur Bonaparte?
Among others, yes. How did you hear about that?
Monsieur Bonaparte came to speak to me about it yesterday, during lunch.
I see. So impetuous. He was supposed to let me speak to you about it first. Our friend Napoleon desperately needed financial backing to properly equip his army. I took it upon myself to back him because I have a firm conviction that he can go far. Yet he told me that you had spoken and that you hadn't been able to reach an understanding.
That's putting it mildly. Monsieur Bonaparte is one of those guys who only understands people who think like he does.
Ah, I see what you mean. He is indeed rather inflexible when it comes to certain subjects. But I am still of the opinion that you can manage to get along.
We shall see. However, there's one thing that surprises me. Did my mother intend to finance a war? I'm not sure that I follow.
No, your mother's aim was not so much to partake in a war, but rather to make Monsieur Bonaparte accountable. France is in turmoil, and having support of a military man can often come in handy, Louis. You'll see. Once this deal was closed, I had big plans for Sarah.
Such as what?
You see, I've invited several influential figures on my island to present them with a project at the conference. It will be presented later today. I thought that the Golden Order had a role to play, and I still think so. I was hoping Sarah would be able to join us.
I see.
Indeed, if by chance your mother decided not to return to us before the conference, would you do me the great honor of attending? If only to follow the deliberations while waiting for
Ok, pour la
her
petite
to
translation,
really
Sally.
take her seat.
Why not? We shall see.
Ah, thank you so much. In this way, you'll be able to keep your mother informed of what he said. There's something else I'd like to briefly go over. Earlier, you asked me the official reason for your mother's presence here. Is there an off-the-record reason why your mother came here?
If only my mother trusted me, but she remained very mysterious. I'd have been delighted to answer your question.
Is this usual for her?
As head of the Order, secrets are her bread and butter, as you can imagine. That said, it's the first time she hasn't let me in on the reason for her trip. And it intrigues me, to tell you the truth.
Well, I am sure that Sarah will explain everything once she reappears. There's something I still don't get. In your opinion, why would your mother remain in hiding over several weeks?
Her not coming back to the manor after so long makes me wonder if she is wary of someone.
Well, certainly. But whom? The only ones who were present during her stay were Sir Gregory, Duchess Hillsborough, Mr. von Wollner, and myself.
You forget Elizabeth Adams, my lord.
That's true. But Gregory and I arranged it so that they wouldn't run into each other. I thought it had worked.
Do you think that your mother felt she was in danger because of Elizabeth?
It's possible.
The only thing I can tell you is that Sarah had indeed changed. At the beginning of her stay here, we enjoyed spending time together, solving the world's problems.
You seem to know my mother very well, my lord.
De quoi parle de
What
vieux?
did you talk about together?
Oh, as soon as we had a little free time, we liked to share points of view about practically any subject. We would find ourselves embarked on interminable discussions that could go from Monsieur Blanchard's flight in a hot air balloon to the Treaty of Jassy, or the adoption of the metric system in France last year, or even Mr. Eli Whitney's invention in the United States.
Je sais pas ce que c'est.
My mother must have undoubtedly taken great pleasure in these exchanges. She always was one to appreciate broadening her knowledge. I'm surprised she didn't get you started on the Crusades. It was her favorite subject.
Are you joking? Sarah and I spent entire days together reliving them. It so happens that the Crusades are also my subject of predilection, especially the third. My ancestor distinguished himself brilliantly during the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
Putain!
Unfortunately, my lord, the Crusades are not my chosen field.
Well, it doesn't matter. You have plenty of time to learn. Your mother is a very well-read woman. You're quite lucky to have her as a model, Louis.
Yes,
Putain, c'est
I
laquelle,
know.
la troisième?
But I'm still very worried.
I must admit, there are worse things to worry about now, Louis.
What do you mean?
Since she disappeared, your mother has been seen once. Her behavior on the evening of your arrival greatly surprised Gregory and myself. She resurfaced to attack Emma, Emily Hillsborough's twin sister. And she shot her with a pistol. Then, before Gregory could intervene, she ran off and disappeared again.
I beg your pardon? Hang on. Emily has a twin sister who knew my mother?
What's she playing at, goddammit? That means my vision on the wharf, it was actually happening inside the manor. Mother shot Emily's sister? The very person she came looking for? Why would she do that?
Excuse me, but between that and the childhood of Lady Adams, it's all a bit much for me to cope with. I need to piece it all together again to see things more clearly. You said that you spent a lot of time talking together at the beginning. What happened for that to change?
I'm afraid I haven't much to tell you. The more the days went by, the more she withdrew into herself. She never gave me an explanation, until the day came when she purely and simply disappeared.
Where did she go when she wanted to be alone?
She would shut herself away in a room we use as a box room upstairs.
Would you allow me to go there?
Naturally, Louis, of course. I'll send you a servant to open it.
Thank you.
One last thing, although I don't know if there is a connection.
I'm listening.
A gate was forced the other night near the wharf. Nothing serious, just a few small things damaged.
Sorry, my lord, but I was searching for leads to my mother. I thought I was hot on her trail and didn't take any precautions.
Well, you could have reported it to a servant. But never mind. I shall put it down to your ardor and anxiety. However, please try to respect my estate in future.
I certainly will. Please accept my sincerest apologies.
That's all I can tell you about the disappearance of your mother, Louis. I would like to have been more
Ouais, on va être honnête avec le
I
vieux,
shall
on
stay
sait
on her
jamais.
trail and follow up any leads.
Thank you.
Ça va, Dodo?
We will meet later on to welcome our last guest. In the meantime, I shall get someone to open the box room upstairs for you.
Thank you.
Alors, il a parlé d'Acre, le coffre À 4 lettres, est-ce qu'on pourrait pas...
The room was just opposite Mortimer's study.
Non! Allez à la chambre de la tour. C'est où ça, la chambre de la tour? C'est où la chambre de la tour? Mi. Est-ce que c'est ça la chambre de la tour? Est-ce que j'ai dans le bon sens? Ouais, plutôt. On va voir si c'est là-bas. Sally. Il se passe vraiment des choses pas nettes dans cette histoire. Non. Elle est à la chambre de la tour. Mais c'est quoi la chambre de la tour? Je sais pas ce que c'est, moi. Donc ça, c'est ma chambre, c'est ça?
Huh, that's me.
Ça m'aide vachement. Allez à la chambre de la tour. Je sais pas où c'est. Est-ce que je peux descendre? Non. Mais je sais pas où je dois aller. Au secours, je sais pas où je dois aller. Je sais pas où je dois aller, je sais pas si c'est cette tour de la chambre. Et là, je crois que j'ai fait un tour gratuit. Ouais, j'ai fait un tour gratuit. Ah. Je suis pas encore venu par là, dis donc.
There are burnt papers in the chimney.
Ça se trouve, c'était juste en face. J'ai fait un tour comme une
There's a
con.
legible fragment left. Hey, I recognize my mother's handwriting. She says we must find a safer way to communicate. Someone is onto us. Trust in my faith in the man with the sword. So Mother had an accomplice here. Who could it be? Who could she be suspicious of? I must find the next part. Faith, sword. I recognize her love of riddles there.
Hop là. Alors, l'homme à l'épée. On a vu que Bonaparte avait une épée.
Dante's paradise. Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our rays.
Est-ce qu'on peut sortir dehors? Non.
What
Il y
is
a un
this
truc là.
disc? Oh, that reminds me of the ones my mother collects. It's magnetic.
Mais... Prends-le! Un nanomagnétique. Ah. Intéressant. À quoi ça sert? Nous devons trouver un moyen plus sûr d'échanger. Fiez-vous à l'homme à l'épée.
St. Paul on the road to Damascus by Caravaggio. Caravaggio attained a magnificent command of black and the play of colors too. Paul facing an ordeal, the curtains of his illusions being raised, and receives the light from his Savior.
C'est surtout un sacré connard, le Caravage. Et je suis baisé, je peux rien faire de plus. Bon, dans la bibliothèque, il n'y a rien. Bon, voyons à côté. Oh.
The door appears to be locked on the other side.
Oops.
I think I heard something fall to the ground. A metallic sound, like a key falling. We'll see if it works.
Hé. Alors c'est qui la GG?
It's open.
St. Paul painted by Guido Rini.
Ah, il a une épée.
St. Paul is shown holding a sword. Strange. There's hardly any dust, as if the painting's been cleaned recently. There's a small inscription engraved on the frame. Let's take a closer look. This is how Paul spoke to his pilgrims from Rome. Just above that, someone's written down the figure 11 on the painting and underlined it twice. No, what does that mean? So we have the figure 11 twice underlined, and a story of a group of pilgrims who it looks like Paul is speaking to. Maybe it's a code. There must be a connection. A text on Paul must be somewhere, and it must be associated with the figure 11. But what's the story with these pilgrims? I mean, a connection with the figure, maybe?
On va finir de... Il me semble que sur le premier tableau qu'on a vu à l'entrée, c'était pas les pèlerins qui allaient je sais pas où.
Painting of Saint Mark from the collection of the Apostles by Guido Rini. Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Rini. Looks like someone touched this commode recently. Their fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust. It's Saint John, painted by Guido Rini.
Ça fait beaucoup d'apôtres.
The New Testament.
Les trucs de Paul.
This book is incredibly precious. I believe this is the book my mother referred to when calling upon the Lord.
On va revenir après.
A drawing of the Apostle Matthew, painted by Guido Rini. He's represented as writing the word of the Lord, transmitted by the Holy Spirit, who appears here in the guise of an angel.
Et attends. Un petit coffre.
Chest with the occult symbol representing air.
Alors, attends. C'est quoi ça?
St. Paul on the road to Damascus by Caravaggio. St. Paul is the only saint to be presented twice in these paintings, contrary to the other apostles. How come?
Il a dit que c'était les pèlerins sur la route de Damas. Il me semble que dans les épîtres de Paul, j'ai vu qu'il y avait je sais pas quoi de Damas. Non. Non. Attends. Corinthiens, Romains, Galates. Chapitre 6, verset
Then they
11.
suborned men, which said, "We have heard him speak blasphemous words against Moses and against God."
Mhm. Chapitre souligné 2 fois. Damas, putain.
Paul and Silvanus and Timotheus unto the church of the Thessalonians, which is in God the Father and in the Lord Jesus Christ. Grace be unto you and peace from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ.
Mhm. Tu disais quoi, toi, le connard à l'épée?
St. Paul painted by Guido Reni. Of the 4 apostles shown in this piece, Paul is the only one who isn't an evangelist. He is the 13th apostle. St. Paul is shown holding a sword. Strange. There's hardly any dust.
Putain, faut réfléchir, c'est dur.
Recently. There's a small inscription engraved on the frame. Let's take a closer look. This is how Paul spoke to his pilgrims from Rome. Just above that, someone's written down the figure 11 on the painting and underlined it twice. I don't know, what does that mean? Then they suborned men, which said, "We have heard him speak blasphemous words against Moses and against
Non,
God."
c'est pas ça. Qu'est-ce que ça peut bien être, ce 11 et ce 2? Y a pas un truc genre 22, voilà les flics?
Do all things without murmurings and
Non, c'est pas ça que je voulais faire. Y a clairement un putain de truc qui m'échappe. Y a pas un autre truc qui m'aurait échappé par
There
là.
are burnt papers in the chimney.
Toujours le mot dans la cheminée.
There's a legible fragment left. Hey, I recognize my mother's handwriting. She says, "We must find a safer way to communicate. Someone is onto us. Trust in my faith in the man with the sword." So mother had an accomplice here.
Putain, mais
Who
quel
could it be?
enfer.
Who could she be suspicious of?
I must find the next part. Faith, sword. I recognize her love of riddles there. Dante's Paradise. Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our rays.
Il n'y a rien au plafond.
St. Paul on the Road to Damascus by Caravaggio. Caravaggio attained a magnificent command of black and the play of colors too. Paul facing an ordeal, the curtains of his illusions being raised, and receives the light from his Savior. St. Paul is the only saint to be presented twice in these paintings, contrary to the other apostles. How come?
Parce qu'il y a sûrement une bonne raison, mais il faut la trouver. Rien encore sur ces putains de plafonds.
A drawing of the Apostle Matthew, painted by Guido Reni. He's represented as writing the word of the Lord, transmitted by the Holy Spirit, who appears here in the guise of an angel. There is none that understandeth. There is none that seeketh after God.
Ouais.
I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall? God forbid, but rather through their fall, salvation is come unto the Gentiles, for to provoke them to jealousy. Oh, wait. A note from Mother is carefully folded between the pages here. What does it say? Dear E, I'm glad you found this note. I was afraid the code of the two groups of pilgrims would mislead you. Pick up the package. You know where, and hide it where no one will find it. It's imperative. Awaiting your reply, hidden behind the youngest apostle. What? The youngest apostle? What does Mother mean by that?
Alors, le plus jeune des apôtres. Ça doit être lui.
St. John is the only apostle painted in this gallery who hasn't got a beard. Hey, wait! That means it's
Bah
him.
oui, c'est lui,
He's the youngest
bouffon!
apostle. Right. This painting is therefore associated with the answer which E had to give to my mother. Now, I just need to know how to recover the answer.
Alors déjà, tu vas scruter le cadre.
The painting looks like it's been taken down recently. But wasn't my mother said that she would wait for an answer hidden behind the apostle? Ah, of course. There's something written behind the painting.
Bah voilà!
On the second day, the pilgrims will listen to the prophecy of the young apostle. They shall add one companion to their left and 3 to their right to complete their rank. What does it mean? They should add a companion to their left and 3 to their right to complete their ranks. I imagine it applies to their code, the one Mother set up with the pilgrims. What's this? A group of pilgrims who Paul was talking to, and now John is telling them prophecies?
Alors.
Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Reni. Looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust.
Mhm. Est-ce que ça aurait un rapport avec ça?
St. Paul on the road to Damascus by Caravaggio. Caravaggio attained a magnificent command
Non,
of
c'est pas
black,
ça.
the play of colors too. Paul facing an ordeal, the curtains of his illusions being raised, and receives the light from his Savior. This painting has been hanging here for a long time. A lot of dust is built up on it. Well, a finger has drawn a number in the thin layer of dust. I can read the number 4.
Mhm. Chiffre 4.
And the woman was
Non,
given
merde, c'est
2
pas ça.
wings of a great eagle, that she might fly
C'était
into the
pas
wilderness,
le...
into her place, where she is nourished for a time, and times, and half a time, from the
Ah
face
si,
of the
c'est peut-être
serpent.
ça.
Hey, a new note. It's been folded carefully in the corner of this page. The writing, it's not my mother's. S. I found the book in your effects. I've concealed it where no one can get their hands on it. I can assure you, awaiting your instructions, I will hear your reply like he who hears the angel. Hears the angel? What does that mean? Oh, it's probably the place where she was expecting to get the location
Il
of
est
the
là-bas,
next
l'ange.
note.
Il est là.
There's something else behind this painting. It says,
Et voilà.
half of each group will join the first city of Corinth. What the hell does that mean?
Mhm. Les Corinthiens.
For the Jews require a sign, and the Greeks seek after wisdom.
Je vais quand même tenter le coup de science, on sait jamais.
A group of pilgrims, if I'm not mistaken, numbered respectively 12 and 14 in the last painting. With the simple operation suggested, that would mean that the new groups are 6 and 7. Several portraits of apostles,
Non, c'est
all
toujours pas
signed by
ça.
Guido Reni. Looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust. Now, therefore, there is utterly a fault among you, because ye go to law with one another. Why do ye not rather suffer injustice? Why do ye not rather suffer yourselves to be defrauded? Ah, look, here's a message. It is of paramount importance that no one finds it. Watch out for the Prussian. He's on the trail. Let's meet up. I'll leave it to you to organize the rendezvous. Not today. I'm unable to do it.
Le Prussien, c'est l'autre vieux.
I'll follow the first group to Mark, who will reveal the answer to them. Prussian? Volner? I must have a word with him. And that first group of pilgrims, how many are there now? If I refer to the chapter I'm reading at the moment, 6.
Alors. Marc, mon chou, tu es là.
Little characters are engraved on the chest of drawers under the urn. It's a sentence in Hebrew.
Je sais pas lire l'hébreu, je suis nulle.
There are finger marks, deliberately drawn in the dust. 8 in all. No, nothing of value here. Little characters are engraved on the chest of drawers under the urn. It's a sentence in Hebrew.
J'ai repéré un 8.
There's nothing worth noticing here. It's too cumbersome for me to unhook here, but judging by the dust, it hasn't been moved for months, if not years.
Alors, on a dégoté un 8. Marc 8. Marc 8.
Then came together unto him the Pharisees, and certain of the scribes, which came from Jerusalem.
Non.
I guess I'll just come back later. Painting of Saint Mark from the collection of the Apostles by Guido Reni. There's nothing worth noticing here.
Oh, attendez. Il y a un texte en hébreu. Il n'y a pas un espèce de genre épître aux hébreux, je sais pas quoi.
Thou hast put all things under his feet, for in that he put all in subjection under him. He left nothing that is not put under him.
Non. Moi je réessaye, il y a un autre 8.
But that which beareth thorns and briars is rejected, and is nigh unto cursing, whose end is to be burned. Here's a message. There are some complications. Indeed, the Prussian is insistent. What's happening at your end? Do you need help? If tonight is not possible, let's see tomorrow evening, in the South Room, where we reviewed the situation. When Paul understood that only the axe counted, he went back on his tracks. I await your confirmation to his left, in the company of the pilgrims that have joined him. Yeah, this last comment is about their code. I should find new pilgrims near Paul.
Et alors, les pèlerins.
St. Paul on the road to Damascus by Caravaggio. This painting has been hanging here for a long time. A lot of dust is built up on it. Well, a finger has drawn a number in the thin layer of dust. I can read the number 4.
On va retourner sur le truc.
Then they suborned
Merde, non.
men, which said, "We have heard him
C'était pas au
speak
bon endroit.
blasphemous words against Moses and against God."
Mhm. Je pense que ça va être encore les épîtres de Paul. Mais les choses se sont ajoutées.
There is none that understandeth.
Non,
There
c'est pas
is none
ça.
that seeketh after God. Follow peace with all men, and holiness, without which no man shall see the Lord.
Alors, je lis ce qu'il y a écrit hein, pour essayer de réfléchir, mais c'est pas simple. Hein. Lorsque a compris que seuls les actes comptaient, il est revenu sur ses pas. Entre compagnie à gauche, en compagnie des pèlerins qui se sont ajoutés à lui. Putain, mais je comprends tellement rien, ces énigmes de merde.
For the Jews require a sign, and the Greeks seek after wisdom.
Salut Tony. J'arrive, ça déjà. Bah oui, il faut que je réfléchisse. Qu'est-ce que tu veux? Regarde-moi ces énigmes de merde là. Paul, il est revenu sur ses pas, mais il nous emmerde, Paul. Il n'y a pas d'autre tableau ici. Putain. Je te merde, Paul.
St. Paul painted by Guido Reni. Strange. St. Paul is shown twice, unlike the other disciples.
Sans blague.
St. Paul is shown holding a sword. Strange.
C'est trop long, lit. Perso,
There's
j'écris
hardly
des
any
livres,
dust.
mais c'est pas pour les lire.
It's been cleaned recently. There's a small inscription engraved on the frame. Let's take a closer look. This is how Paul spoke to his pilgrims from Rome. Just above that, someone's written down the figure 11 on the painting and underlined it twice. No, what does that mean?
Ça mine que ta mère et son interlocuteur sont des connards. Ils sont rajoutés à eux, il n'y aurait pas...
Follow peace with all men and holiness, without which no man shall see the Lord.
Putain! J'en sais rien, moi. Genre, je connais la Bible. Putain, je suis athée. Je sais même pas ce que c'est les épîtres de Paul.
There is none that understandeth.
There is none that seeketh after God. If we have hope in Christ in this life only, we are, of all men, most miserable.
Je comprends rien à cette énigme. Lorsque Paul a compris que seuls les actes comptaient, il est revenu sur ses pas. Est-ce que ça veut dire qu'il faut reprendre le truc 11-11?
Dear E, I'm glad you found this note. I was afraid the code of the two groups of pilgrims would mislead you. Pick up the package. You know where, and hide it where no one will find it. It's imperative. Awaiting your reply, hidden behind the youngest apostle. What? The youngest apostle? What does Mother mean by that?
Je sais pas, j'ai aucune idée. En fait, je comprends pas forcément la logique. Pour trouver le premier chapitre, verset 11. Ok, le 11 souligné x2, donc il n'y a pas de problème avec Paul. Récupère le livre. Il est caché derrière le plus jeune apôtre. Donc ouais, l'apôtre c'était Jean. J'ai dû trouver un indice que j'ai appuyé au hasard, verset 12, chapitre 14. J'ai bien trouvé le livre. Nanana. J'écouterai votre réponse comme celui qui écoute l'ange. Donc l'ange, il était là. Mais...
There's something else behind this painting. It says, half of each group will join the first city of Corinth. What the hell does that mean?
Attends, tu peux reciter?
Group of pilgrims, if I'm not mistaken, numbered respectively 12 and 14 in the last painting. With the simple operation suggested, that would mean that the new groups are 6 and 7.
Ah oui, le groupe 14, 12 et 14, ok. 7 et 6, ils sont restés 7 et 6, suffisait de lire. Oui, non mais ça je l'ai déjà trouvé, c'est pas le problème. Après l'épître aux Hébreux, j'ai trouvé le 8, mais pas le 6 parce qu'il y avait une inscription en hébreu, mais bon, à partir de là, tu trouvais. Lorsque Paul a pris des actes comptés, il est revenu sur ses pas. J'attends votre confirmation en compagnie des pèlerins qui se sont ajoutés à lui. Mais putain! L'épître hébreu, c'est le cirque, non? Tu sors. Il est revenu sur ses pas.
If we have hope in Christ in this life only, we are, of all men, most miserable.
C'est bien de nous dire sympa qu'il y a des gens qui sont ajoutés à lui, mais combien?
It is of paramount importance that no one finds it. Watch out for the
Oui, ça c'est le
Prussian.
truc. Oh,
He's on
putain,
the
mais je
trail.
comprends rien.
Let's meet up. I'll leave it to you to organize the rendezvous. Not today. I'm unable to do it. In the meantime, I'll follow the first group to Mark, who will reveal the answer to them. Prussian.
En fait, je comprends pas comment il calcule le nombre de pèlerins, en fait. C'est ça qui me
And that
turlupine.
first group of pilgrims. How many are there now? If I refer to the chapter I'm reading at the moment, 6. Follow peace with all men, and holiness, without which no man shall see the Lord.
Il est revenu sur ses pas. Est-ce que ça
Honor
pourrait
thy
être ça?
father and thy mother, as this is the first commandment.
Non. Le pèlerin. Tony, tu arrêtes avec tes blagues, tu sors. Faut que je trouve la solution, je sais pas. J'ai aucune idée. Dodo, tu me gênes, pardon. Ah. J'ai aucune idée. J'attends votre confirmation à sa gauche. En compagnie des pèlerins qui sont ajoutés à lui.
I guess I'll just come back later.
Attends, il y avait un truc là? Non. À gauche. On est d'accord, il n'y a rien. Ah,
Amber.
si, il y avait un truc, mais c'est pas ce que je cherchais. J'ai aucune idée de comment trouver cette foutue réponse. Un truc que j'ai déjà. Je sais plus à quoi ça sert ces conneries. Je ne sais pas.
St. Paul on the road to Damascus by Caravaggio.
Prends le miroir pour t'aider, mais quel miroir?
This painting has been hanging here for a long time. A lot of dust is built up on it. Well, a finger has drawn a number in the thin layer of dust. I can read the number 4.
Est-ce que l'indice, ça serait 4 ici?
Because we look not at the things that are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal.
Non, c'était pas ça. Non. Oh là là là, je sèche complètement.
Because we look not at the things that are seen.
Non,
but
mais c'est ce que je viens
at
de
the
faire,
things
je suis
which are not
con.
seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. This I say therefore, and testify in the Lord, that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk, in the vanity of their mind.
Non, c'était pas ça.
In him God has chosen us before the foundation of the world, that we may be holy and blameless before him.
J'ai aucune idée de ce que ça peut être la réponse.
Not in the lustful desire, even as the Gentiles who knew not God.
Alors s'il y a quelqu'un qui veut regarder la solution là, parce que honnêtement là, je vois pas ce que ça peut être.
not in the lustful desire, even as the Gentiles
C'est ce que je viens de
who know
faire.
not God.
Il y a trop de trucs, il y a trop de chiffres. C'est quoi l'énigme? C'est ça. J'attends votre confirmation à sa gauche. Je suppose que c'est Paul, en compagnie des pèlerins qui se sont ajoutés à lui. C'est ça l'énigme. Elle est là. Donc en fait, le message doit être dans la Bible que je m'amuse à lire. Et en fait, pour trouver l'endroit où le message est codé, c'est ça. J'entends votre confirmation à sa gauche. Donc je pense que c'est Paul. Hein. Lorsque Paul comprit que seuls les actes comptaient, il est revenu sur ses pas. J'attends votre confirmation en compagnie des pèlerins qui se sont ajoutés à lui. Donc je dois obtenir des chiffres. Mais alors, putain, lesquels ? J'en ai aucune idée. Ah non, mais le jeu est cool, mais là, je suis complètement paumé. Parce qu'en fait, il y a une logique qui m'échappe. À un moment, je comprends pas comment en fait je passe chapitre 12, verset 14, au chapitre diminué par 2. Après l'autre... En fait, je comprends pas. Donc, il y a des systèmes d'ajout et de calcul qui doivent se faire. Mais alors, où, comment, avec quoi ? Que l'épître aux Hébreux, j'ai trouvé le 8. Le 6, je l'ai pas trouvé, mais comme j'ai compris qu'il y avait des chiffres hébreux, c'était facile d'aller sur l'épître des Hébreux. Donc il est revenu sur ses pas. Est-ce que ça voudrait dire que ça soit sur l'épître des Corinthiens? Épître des Corinthiens. Et il a ajouté du monde.
For you are bought with a price. Therefore, glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's.
Il est revenu en arrière et des gens sont ajoutés. Donc est-ce que
If we
ça
have
pourrait être
hope
ça?
in Christ in this life only, we are, of all men, most miserable.
Non, c'est pas ça.
Now I pray to God that ye do no evil.
Je suis sur
Not that
l'épisode
we should
2.
appear approved, but that ye should do that which is honest. For we are as reprobates.
Revenu sur ses pas. Épître de Paul. L'épître de Paul, à sa gauche, ça serait les Romains. Avec les mecs qui sont
We
ajoutés.
know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin.
Voilà, s'il est revenu sur ses pas, c'était Épître des Corinthiens. Si c'est à sa gauche, est-ce que c'est ça? Chapitre 11. Il n'y a pas de chapitre 11. Il n'y a pas de chapitre 11.
Dear E, I'm
Ça,
glad
je l'ai
you found
déjà,
this
le
note.
I. Mais ça, c'était tout le
I was
début.
afraid the code of the two groups of pilgrims would mislead you. Pick up the package. You know where, and hide it where no one will find it. It's imperative. Awaiting your reply. Hidden behind the youngest apostle. What? The youngest apostle? What does Mother mean by that?
Bon, je vais essayer de regarder de mon côté parce que là, on est foutu. Vraiment là, je trouve pas. J'ai aucune idée. Revenir sur ses pas. Donc moi je serais revenu à l'épître des Corinthiens, mais il n'y a rien qui marche. Faut trouver une référence, hein. Trouver que des trucs en anglais, c'est merveilleux. Alors. Alors. Alors, ça, on a trouvé. Alors, ces actes des apôtres. Hop, et visiblement c'est ça. Alors pourquoi
And he became very hungry and would have eaten, but while they
j'ai
were
pas,
made ready,
j'ai pas
he
forcément
fell into a
compris,
trance.
mais tant pis.
Hey, there's a note here. A message from Mother in reply to E. We must leave urgently, but first I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare. Watch out for Volner. He figured out I was avoiding him. Allay suspicion. See you tomorrow evening. Stand ready. For now, let's cease all communication until we meet. Take care of yourself. I suppose this must be the last message. What happened afterward? If it's what I suspect, I fear the worst. What did Mother mean by, I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare? I must go beyond the nightmare. What does she mean by that?
Elle veut dire aller par-delà du tableau qui est dans le bureau du mec.
Clearly, she must
Dans le
be
bureau de
trying to
Lord
do
Mortimer,
something
il y a un
useful, but
énorme
what?
tableau du cauchemar.
Nightmare. Does that remind me of anything?
C'est le
Probably has
tableau
to do
derrière
with
le
an
bureau de
object
Mortimer,
or
merde.
Granting that this is the case, where am I to be found?
C'est un tableau. Le
Yes.
cauchemar, le tableau.
Painting that was
Voilà,
behind Mortimer's
c'est bien
study.
du con.
Well, let's see if Mortimer has anything to hide behind his painting.
Voilà.
Mortimer's getting his guests together. I ought to join them so I don't look suspicious.
Oui, ma mère. Bon. On a un peu galéré. Mais bon, on sait que c'est derrière ce putain de tableau. Putain, c'est là que je suis contente d'avoir fait un peu d'histoire de l'art. Je veux gagner d'autres compétences. Alors, interrogatoire, on va prendre un peu. Un peu de logique, ça serait bien. Allez, mets un peu de logique. Hop là. Putain. Ah, j'ai gagné un succès. Un destin tragique. Ah putain, je vais pouvoir bouquiner 3 livres. Alors ça, il me manque. Alors, qu'est-ce que c'est? Compétences et érudition. Ça serait pas mal. J'en manque. Étiquette, je m'en fous. Interrogatoire. Compétences en linguistique. Allez, encore un peu d'érudition. Allez, un peu de logique. On va s'en tirer comme ça. Talent débloqué. Apprenti.
It's time I went back and joined everyone in the small salon.
Alors là, lui, il est en train de garder la porte comme un connard. Ah, j'ai récupéré toute mon énergie, ça c'est cool. Allez, on va descendre au petit salon pour voir ce qui se passe. Ah, mais je suis contente d'avoir compris que c'était dans ce tableau à la con.
Emily, I must speak to you.
What's the matter, Louis?
I have news about your sister.
What have you found out?
Look, I've started piecing together the events leading up to my mother's disappearance and your sister's. Did my mother know about your secret?
Yes, even though I belong to the English chapter, her rank in the Order gives her access to a good deal of personal information.
It must have been Emma I saw in my vision. I was given to understand that my mother and your sister bonded during their stay. They kept up a secret correspondence, which makes me think they were suspicious of someone.
And did you find out who it was?
No, but von Wollner is mentioned. They were planning to make a quick getaway and were looking to hide something beforehand.
Have you got these messages?
J'aurais préféré lui accuser, mais bon,
Go
tant
ahead,
pis.
take a look.
I see. I must say, thanks for your honesty, Louis.
Should I speak to her about my vision? If what I saw is true, she might want to take revenge.
Se taire.
I better keep that to myself for the time being.
Come, Louis. They're waiting for us.
Je trouve que c'est pas une bonne idée de parler quand on a des visions. Enfin, je dis ça, je dis rien, hein, c'est que mon avis personnel.
You will pay dearly, Peru. I'm sure you were involved somewhere along the line.
That's right. Pretend you don't know. One piece of advice. Don't travel through France on your way back, or it'll cost you dearly.
Calm now, my friends. Let's calm down. Everyone seems to be a little unnecessarily heated. Don't forget where you are, please.
What's going on here exactly?
Sir Gregory called us together to introduce the last guest.
But hardly had we arrived when he set upon Monsieur Peru.
Il est pénible ce Pérou.
And who is this charming character?
Manuel Godoy, the Duke of La Alcudia.
He's the head of the Spanish government, Monsieur de Richet. He's the one who, in practice, controls Spain.
How could you dare do such a thing? Dios mío, you are all out of your minds!
Really, Duke Manuel? What made you kick up such a fuss?
What? Have you not heard? Well, let me inform you that yesterday morning at 10:22 a.m. precisely, in the middle of the Place de la Révolution in Paris, by decree of the National Convention which Monsieur Peru works for,
Ouais, guillotine, guillotine, guillotine.
What? The King of France is dead, gentlemen. Our monarchies are in danger. I have said it before. How dare they?
Oh dear.
Guillotine, guillotine, guillotine.
Friends, let us calm down.
Don't pretend to be surprised. He got a fair trial.
Ridiculous! Bastard! He was sentenced to death by 361 votes to 300.
Et on rappellera que les Orléans ont voté pour.
King for one vote. Is that your democracy?
Bah oui, à une voix près, c'est ça, hein.
Until this, anything was possible.
Nous, on a bien perdu la motion de censure à 9 putains de voix près, hein. J'espère que Paris brûle.
Gentlemen, please. Let us take a step back a moment.
In the name of holiness, he was the highest representative of God in France, Emily.
Gentlemen, Duchess, we're all among people of reputable company here. We should be able to manage the conflicts of our nations in a respectful and orderly manner.
I fully agree with you, sir.
But
That's enough, sir.
with whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
Louis Maras de Richet.
Are you related to Sarah de Richet?
Sarah is his mother, Duke. Gentlemen, this news affects us all, but I must ask you to remain calm. It's not the first time history has taken us by surprise. Let's ensure that our respective countries are allowed to respond appropriately to this news.
Oh, rest assured. The response will not fall short, my friend.
Good for you. Well, Your Grace, here I was preparing to introduce you as is proper, and you've beaten me to it. I'm delighted that we are all together at last. Our meeting will therefore be able to kick off shortly. I have just a few more little preparations to take care of before you all find out the reason for your presence here. In the meantime, I shall leave you to get to know one another. When you hear the bell, please proceed to the conclave room on my left, behind that door. I'll see you later.
Could you spare a moment, please, sir?
I'm glad you asked. I want to talk to you too.
Of course.
Début de la
I heard about
confrontation.
your
Bon.
mother's disappearance.
He looks concerned. I don't know why, but I doubt it's from sympathy alone. Let's see what he wants from me.
Any news of her? Have you found her, maybe?
Attendez. Ah, il y a deux sœurs jumelles, c'est les deux mêmes. Les mecs ils se sont pas foulés. Et on était avec Wheeler. Putain, j'ai aucune idée de ses points faibles. On va
Hear
essayer
you
de faire
speak,
ça.
it sounds like you and my mother were close.
Let's say I hold your mother in high esteem, yes. We were even planning to work together.
That's what he was getting at.
Did she tell you about our arrangement?
No, not at all.
Ah, I thought she might have spoken to you about it. Well, too bad. I shan't
Oh
keep
putain.
you, Monsieur de Richet.
All right
Oh
then.
putain.
Thank you.
I hope that
J'ai
your
été
search will
nul.
prove successful and bring Sarah back to us soon. I must go now. I'll see you later.
Oh, je suis nulle, je suis nulle, je suis nulle. Je suis nulle. Ah, il y a un coffret là. J'ai une clé ou pas?
There's a pattern with 5 circles on this chest.
C'est bien,
no
mon
space
inventaire est
left.
complètement
I'll
full.
retrieve it later.
Bon, on va parler à Anna Bonaparte qui est encore là. Il y a peut-être des choses à nous dire. Il joue aux échecs tout seul comme un connard.
Monsieur Bonaparte, may I speak with you a moment?
Mais oui.
What do you think of Duke Godoy?
Well, I'd rather not express any opinion of him.
Why is that?
His reputation is enough for me.
Alors putain, lui qui est Anna Bonaparte. Conviction politique, il est bon. Interrogatoire à mon avis.
There are some rumors about his
Ah ouais, non mais
morals.
Napoléon, il est
Juste,
génial pour
monsieur.
ça. Hein.
Add to that his devouring ambition, if you want my opinion. Playing at Loverboy rather than gaining merit for his career. It's a disgrace for any soldier.
I understand your point of view.
Non, parce que t'as d'autres. Moi, le personnage principal, Louis de Richet, il est français aussi, ça va. T'as Jacques Pérou, qui pourtant, on aurait pu s'imaginer qu'il avait un accent anglais déplorable, s'en tire pas très bien. Selon le jeune. Pourquoi pas?
Would you have any more information about the conference Lord Mortimer spoke of?
Nothing at all. Mortimer is very committed to secrecy when it comes to his conferences. But given the presence of Monsieur Peru and ourselves, I think it must concern France to some extent. Otherwise, I doubt he would have invited 3 Frenchmen to his table, huh?
Well, I'll be leaving you now. Shall we meet up again later?
Wait, monsieur. Any news of your mother?
Unfortunately not, no.
I hope to speak with her about my deal before I leave. Let me know if you find her. À plus tard, monsieur.
Ah non, mais Napoléon, putain, son accent, c'est une horreur. Bon, on va essayer d'aller dans le bureau. Je crois que d'ailleurs la frangine elle a fait un clip que j'ai pas vu parce que je suis en live, mais visiblement elle a fait un clip. J'ai pas envie de te parler toi. J'ai envie d'aller dans le bureau. Non mais tu verras, si on a l'occasion de revoir Pérou, franchement, le mec... Bon, je suis pas étonné que le mec il soit bien content que la tête du roi soit tombée, hein. Ça m'a l'air d'être un bon révolutionnaire, j'ai envie de dire bien robespierrien, genre lui voir des têtes tombées, ça doit pas lui déplaire, hein. Parce qu'il était à peine arrivé dans le manoir qu'il était en train d'agresser une gonzesse, hein. Alors pas sexuellement, mais...
What did my mother mean by going beyond the nightmare?
Ah oui, on avait dit le coffret là. Il y a un coffret. Est-ce que la solution du coffret, ça peut être acre? Ils sont par les croisades. Ah. Deuxième lettre. Ah. Non! Non, je peux pas faire acre. Merde. Chiotte. Chiotte, merde. On va pouvoir gruger le...
What have we got here? Oh, it looks like a model of a lock. It's as if Mortimer is fond of complicating things sometimes. Well, I hope I never have to try and unlock it.
Cher monsieur Guido Poletti, je vous écris concernant les dates des tableaux que je vous ai fait parvenir pour vos expositions temporaires. Veuillez noter que le dernier faisait partie de ma collection privée, sont datés selon le calendrier formation AL en vigueur à l'époque. Comme vous le devinez donc, il faudra penser à retirer 4000 ans si vous voulez que le public ne s'étonne pas de la datation des œuvres. Inutile de vous rappeler que l'année maçonnique ou AL commence en mars et non pas en janvier. Ah bah comme les ides de mars quoi, comme l'année romaine. Concernant le tableau de Longinus, je me suis permis de faire retoucher sa lance afin de mieux correspondre à sa véritable lance. Je ne saurais trop vous conseiller d'en faire autant pour vos représentations de ce dernier. Veuillez agréer, monsieur, gna 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 gna. Comptabilité de l'année. Livre, nourriture, pierre de taille, marbre, bois, vitraux, toile de maître, tissu, vin, eau, poudre, livre. Qu'est-ce que c'est que ça?
Let's take a closer look.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Judging by the shape, I'd say they're Criollo cocoa beans. The chocolate of the Mayas, the rarest of the beans. Some even say they're an aphrodisiac. When a product is in fashion, people attribute all sorts of virtues to it, not to be given to animals.
Tu veux un chocolat, Coco? Tu veux un chocolat?
Sarah de Riche? Waldo, you know Sarah? Well, Waldo, is your master good?
Je suis sûre qu'on peut gagner un trophée en donnant du chocolat à l'oiseau. J'ai pas envie.
That's what you generally feed birds.
Je vais pas donner de ça, je donne pas.
Might come in handy.
Alors, est-ce que je peux quand même prendre des chocolats?
Let's take a closer look. Dark chocolate beans. Very bitter. They're greatly prized in high society.
Par contre, toi, je vais te donner des baies.
A mina bird.
Donner des fruits. Quand on finit avec la...
Sarah de Riche? Waldo, you know Sarah? What? Repeat that, Waldo. Sarah? What about Sarah? Good God, what's been happening here? Well, Waldo, is your master good? I don't really know what I was expecting.
Est-ce que je peux lui redonner à manger à l'oiseau?
Mina bird.
Tiens, reprends des fruits rouges. Non, je veux pas l'empoisonner au chocolat. Alors, le cauchemar.
Painted by Fuseli in 1781.
Ok, Sally, bonne nuit. À demain,
This must be what my
bisous.
mother was talking about. Now just need to find out what she meant by go beyond. Hey, looks like it's mounted on rails on each side. It should lift up, I think. There must be a mechanism somewhere.
Alors, chercher le mécanisme. Ça, c'est
I
pour
don't think this book
m'instruire.
can help me.
Putain, la solution dans la bibliothèque, c'était trop simple. Oh.
No, what have we got here? Well, it looks like a model of a lock. It's as if Mortimer is fond of complicating things sometimes. Well, I hope I never have to try and unlock it.
Système, où est-ce qu'il peut être enclenché? Ah putain, c'est la croisade.
No mechanism here. No mechanism here.
Hop là, je suis un peu...
No. Let's look elsewhere.
Hop là.
Okay, no mechanism behind this painting. Well, I'll have to keep looking.
C'est quand même loin pour mettre un mécanisme, hein. Il était où mon curaillon tout à l'heure devant un pupitre ou je sais pas quoi?
Nope. No mechanism here.
Il est où ton système d'ouverture à la con? Dans les bibliothèques, il y aurait quelque chose que j'aurais zappé, non? T'es sûr qu'il n'y a pas
The
de truc
nightmare
ici?
painted by Fuseli in 1781. Ah, this must be what my mother was talking about. Now just need to find out what she meant by go beyond. Hey,
Dans le ménat,
looks like
mais
it's mounted on
non.
rails on each side. It should lift up, I think. There must be a mechanism
Ça me paraît
somewhere.
pertinent que le mécanisme soit proche du bureau, en fait. Ah, tu vois? J'ai été con. J'ai été con.
Aha! I found it.
Oh, what on earth is this? A ring lock now? Great. That's all I needed.
Alors, une date. Alors, je reste quand même obsédée par cette histoire de croisade.
Hey, there are two dates on this painting. 1154 AD and 5154 AL. The two dates most likely relate to two calendars. The Gregorian calendar and, well, the Freemason calendar.
Le mec, il m'a parlé de la troisième croisade tout à l'heure.
Coup de lance by Paul Rubens.
J'ai pas analysé le tableau, ça me fait un coûter plat de...
William Alexander Mortimer I, the 12th month of Anno Lucis, 5190. That's a funny date.
51,90. Et j'essaierai bien celui-là, dis donc.
A painting depicting the Third Crusade. It's titled Winter Before the Fall of Saint Jean d'Acre.
On va essayer...
Looks like there's a marker on number 1 on the second roller. Damn it. Doesn't work.
Bon.
5190.
La troisième croisade.
I was pretty sure it was right. Maybe I didn't use the right dating system.
Attendez. L'autre, le premier là, on a dit que c'était 51,90 et l'autre il a dit que dans sa lettre il fallait enlever 4000 ans. Donc 1190, on va essayer ça. On va essayer ça, comme ça.
Doesn't work, damn it. I really thought I was close. 1190. Isn't the right date when you subtract 4000? I must have missed a subtlety.
Ouais, on va regarder les courriers. Qu'est-ce qu'il a, le roux? Alors...
This painting isn't finished, and it looks like Mortimer probably did it. Not bad, but you can't exactly say it's been done in the style of the period.
History of the First Crusades by Pierre Amédée de la Sarde.
Hey, the dates indicate AL, and it looks like 4,000 years have been added to our calendar. Oh, that counting system again. Crusades took place not long after the year 1000. Here all the dates say 5000 and something. I'm guessing this dating system begins 4,000 years before the calendar that we use. Yet, I'm getting the feeling that there's something else, another small detail, but what is it? The famous call from Pope Gregory VIII in his Audita Tremendi bull of 5,187. Oh, the crusade where Richard the Lionhearted distinguished himself. It states the first sea blockade of Saint-Jean d'Acre was broken in the 12th month of 5,190 AL, whereas the siege had been going on for 2 years.
Attendez, il a dit que ça c'était Attends, reviens.
The famous call from Pope Gregory VIII in his Audita Tremendi bull of 5,187. Oh, the crusade where Richard the Lionhearted distinguished himself. It states the first sea blockade of
Le 12e mois de 1192, sauf qu'il a dit que le 12e mois, ça commençait au mois de mars et pas au mois de janvier. Donc si on est au 12e mois, ça se trouve, il y a une connerie d'une année en plus ou en moins. Attendez. On va essayer un truc. On va essayer comme ça pour voir. Non! Putain! Voilà! Voilà!
Open sesame.
Alors, c'est qui le lion maintenant? Putain, je suis pas peu fière. Ça va le petit cabinet privé de Mortimer, hein, on se fait pas chier.
Let's see what you've been hiding, Lord Murderer.
Putain, je suis bien contente. Cher Lord Mortimer, je me permets de vous écrire afin que vous puissiez convaincre le président Washington de ne pas signer la Fugitive Slave Act en l'état. Nous devons absolument légiférer au niveau national et donc permettre à chaque État de choisir sa politique concernant l'esclavage. Inutilement prévu afin de régler un conflit entre la Pennsylvanie et la Virginie, nous risquons de légaliser la chasse aux Noirs. Des hommes peu scrupuleux deviennent chasseurs d'esclaves et incapables d'en trouver un en fuite, se mettent à capturer le premier homme noir venu en se faisant passer pour un fugitif recherché. La situation risque de vite dégénérer. Merci d'avance votre avis. Passez le bonjour à ma fille Elisabeth. Tu m'étonnes. C'est ce que raconte 12 Years Slave, je crois. J'ai une carte de l'Afrique, ouais.
It shows the forces present in Africa. This is unexpected activity in this sector. It looks like there are also many unknowns, even for Mortimer.
Milord, j'espère que mon pli saura parvenir jusqu'à vous. Mes heures sont comptées. Mon imprimerie m'a été confisquée et je suis enfermé à la forteresse de à vos souhaits. Si par chance vous pouviez intervenir en ma faveur, je vous serais éternellement redevable. La tsarine Catherine ne devrait plus tarder à interdire toute loge de l'ordre doré sur son territoire. Notre horizon s'assombrit considérablement. Dans l'espoir que vous puissiez m'aider, votre ami Blairelle Navikov. Je sais pas qui c'est. Je sais pas qui c'est.
Weakness of the Human Psyche by Guillaume Trimore. He says, it is possible to drill an idea into someone
Compétence supérieure, manipulation. Ouais, j'ai gagné un niveau.
And goes on, there are hundreds of good ways to live life, but you only need one to convince the masses that it's the only one possible.
Le président a bien été livré. Timur Saradurandi, roi d'Afghanistan, du Pendjab, du Sindh, de Mashhad et du Cachemire, ne devrait plus conserver son titre encore longtemps. Son fils Zanan reprendra comme prévu la succession. Nous pourrons alors reprendre les négociations. K. Je sais pas qui c'est, K. C'est Amérique du Sud.
This shows the forces present in America.
Sauce America, là, ce qu'on voit surtout. Mon ami, en remerciant des services rendus pour notre aide dans la lutte contre les Espagnols et la prise d'Oran, un bateau en partance de Marseille en France vient d'être affrété. Sera caché à son bord quelques corps porteurs de la peste qui déciment notre pays actuellement. Faites très attention à la manipulation des caisses car si l'une devrait s'ouvrir inopinément, vous risquez de prendre malade toute la France. Mohamed Al-Kébir. Ça me dit quelque chose ce nom. Cher ami, comme vous le souhaitez, j'ai pu réunir mes amis afin de signer l'accord que vous m'aviez proposé. Cet accord porte le nom de Button Hood. Si vous vous souvenez de l'endroit où nous nous sommes remis quand vous avez rencontré la... Attends. Si vous vous souvenez de l'endroit où nous nous sommes réunis quand vous nous avez rencontrés la première fois, vous comprendrez pourquoi ce nom. Si joint la liste des 16 confrères, Léonard machin, Hugh Smith, machin, Samuel machin, bidule, trucmuche. Grâce à votre aide, nous allons bientôt pouvoir nous réunir chez moi à la Tontine Coffee House. Au plaisir, Hugh Smith. Je sais pas qui c'est. Voyons si vous aurez le courage de venir me voir seul à seul.
This is my mother's writing. I've picked up her trail. What is she up to? Obviously, she wants to lure Mortimer somewhere, but where? The only clue she's left for Mortimer is his stone sword. It must be intentional. It looks like a decorative sword, like from a statue, for example. And judging by the state of it, I'm guessing it's been left outside for a long time. I have absolutely got to find out where it came from.
Non. Ah non, je croyais que je pouvais récupérer le pot à côté. Alors. Très cher Lord Mortimer, je regrette de vous informer que la pression russe ne pourra bientôt plus être ignorée. La tsarine Catherine compte bel et bien soutenir le comte de Provence et le reconnaîtra comme régent du royaume de France. Une fois le roi Louis disparu de la scène politique, je suis désolé de vous annoncer les mauvaises nouvelles, mais attendez-vous à de sombres heures. Votre ami Elfrieder Bauer. Carte de l'Asie. Il y a les Indes, l'Australie. Mais où est-ce qu'il a caché l'épée? Tu veux pas savoir. Monsieur, vos plans d'ingérence en Belgique se déroulent comme prévu. Genre ça existe déjà la Belgique? J'occupe comme il se doit l'armée prussienne. Votre envoi de canons à Valmy pour assurer la victoire. Oh, Valmy, ça me dit quelque chose. Comme convenu, j'ai averti le roi de plus des plans d'invasion de Custine et de l'armée du Nord. Je bouterai les Autrichiens hors de Belgique. Je me dois de rentrer à Paris rapidement car je sens le sort de notre roi Louis sur le point de se régler de façon déshonorante. Il m'est impossible de ne pas intervenir. Ah oui, il va y laisser un peu la tête, le pauvre garçon. Si vous aviez quelques missives à me remettre, je vous invite à passer comme d'habitude par notre ami Monsieur Pérou. Cordialement, Charles-François Dumouriez, général de l'armée du Nord. Ça aussi, ça me dit quelque chose, mais... je voudrais pas sortir, donc... Cher Lord Mortimer, en tant qu'ami de la Chine, soyez assuré que vous serez remercié des informations. Son représentant, Monsieur McCartney, en sera remercié. Gna gna gna. Merci. Ok. Le mec qui correspond avec l'empereur de Chine, rien que ça. William, quels que soient les projets, notre père semble opposé à te laisser mettre la main. Opposé à te laisser la main mise sur l'Europe. La Russie s'engagera très prochainement dans la coalition contre ta chère France. N'espère pas pouvoir résister très longtemps. Je te supplie, William, de ne pas insister. Tu es en train de déchirer notre famille. Ton frère qui t'aime, G. Je passerai à ton colloque. Mais que penses-tu que ce soit le moment propice? Il y a un truc là. Recoucou Rachel, Valmy, c'est la bataille des révolutionnaires qui ont foutu la pâtée aux Autrichiens. Il y a des chances.
It shows the forces present in Europe. It's clear that France is surrounded by her enemies. However, a large number has been underlined in bold. 26 million. I know what it is. It's an estimation of my country's population. All our neighbors have far fewer inhabitants.
26 millions de Français. C'est bien pour pouvoir lutter les Belgiques. Mon ami, j'ai bien reçu les mots et je comprends la situation. Je suis désolé de devoir vous affronter militairement, mais si la situation vous oblige à me déclarer la guerre, faites ce qui vous semble juste. Sur vos conseils et le cœur là, je m'en vais rejoindre la coalition qui s'oppose à vous. Dans l'espoir de pouvoir vous servir à nouveau, Georges, roi de Hanovre, roi du Royaume-Uni, gna gna gna. Alors, continuons notre petite enquête.
Preservation using formaldehyde. Just as disgusting as ever.
Alors.
Something strange about this table. What kind of experiments does Mortimer carry out here?
On veut pas savoir ce qu'il fait.
It's a dissection table. So Mortimer does autopsies. Here on his desert island. But who is he doing autopsies on then?
On veut pas savoir en fait.
The little surgeon's perfect collection.
Immunité découverte, science. Examiner le matériau.
Obsidian.
Écriture cuniforme.
Must weigh a ton.
Alors, moi j'aurais dit de l'onyx parce que de l'obsidienne, je rappelle, c'est du verre naturel.
These are feathers. Pigeon, probably.
Bonjour Bob. Lord Mortimer. Comme convenu, j'ai changé votre ancienne serrure par une de mes inventions, en m'inspirant de votre ami médecin, Monsieur Guillotin. Alors que Louis XVI vient de se faire guillotiner. Voici une maquette de notre prochaine serrure si vous appréciez le prototype. Il est difficile d'imaginer l'ensemble, mais elle sera au centre de la porte actuelle. Le but étant de ne rien changer au fonctionnement de la porte, mais d'y apporter un peu plus de piquant. En fonction de l'alignement des disques, la dite serrure s'ouvrira. J'ai appelé mon invention le jugement de la foi, car si un curieux n'en a pas assez et tente de l'ouvrir, il se retrouvera puni. J'espère que vous trouverez la situation cocasse. Gustave Montrand, maître architecte. Bonjour Bob.
A skeleton by the name of Gustav. If the plaque on the plinth is anything to go by.
Mais non, ça c'est un Bob.
To his anatomy skeleton. That's morbid. Oh, his right hand is missing.
Cher ami, il est quel est le plus admirable des Olympiens? Nul doute que le roi des dieux. Donc ça c'est Zeus et sa quéquette qui pend. Contrairement à son père Chronos, il a appris à faire usage égal de la force et de la sagesse. Je suis pas sûr que sagesse ça soit un truc qui rime avec Zeus, mais c'est pas grave. Au lieu de craindre la puissance de ses enfants et de ses frères, il a accepté de partager le monde avec eux. Alors, on va rectifier. Il a balancé son frère à la quéquette remuante dans les océans, et son frère sage, il l'a envoyé aux enfers. Hein, on va rectifier. Les hommes craignent ma foudre et louent ma justice. Il règne au lieu de dominer. Alors non, ça c'était le message derrière.
That must be for writing the homing pigeon messages. Three rusty old nails. They're about 20 centimeters long.
Some goat skulls, chicken legs. Now we all know what that's for.
I'm a little surprised at Mortimer. I didn't seem as the type to be organizing little pagan parties, invoking occult powers, and dancing naked under the full moon.
I'm more used
Alors,
to seeing
vu le
cheap
nombre de
charms
vieux,
like
j'ai
this
pas
sold by
forcément envie de les voir
charlatans and
danser nus, hein.
présagés. Look, a pack of tarot cards. Has he been reading the cards? Mortimer? That would surprise me.
Je sais pas tirer le tarot, je sais pas le lire. Alors, une potion, je suis déjà full. Cher Mortimer, soyez assuré de mon entière dévotion. Comme convenu, les campagnes vendéennes se soulèveront bientôt. Ah, François Tadache Charrette! Vive Philippe de Villiers! Pardon. Mon raison s'évertue à faire monter la pression chez beaucoup. La décision de l'Assemblée constituante de voter la constitution civile du clergé est en train d'embraser la région. Le peuple rejette en masse les prêtres jurant fidélité à l'État. Si vous pouviez vous assurer que la Convention donne un dernier coup contre le peuple, l'affaire serait réglée. Sans vouloir orienter un enrôlement forcé pour un conflit lointain, serait parfait pour définir votre dévoué en François Athanase Charrette de la Contrie. Philippe de Villiers, président. Non mais Charrette, c'est le héros de son film là, qui a été une bouse, un bide. Clé à motif de feu.
Am I seeing things, or is that an actual von Leeuwenhoek microscope? Incredible. Mortimer really is at the cutting edge of science. Even at the Order, it took us ages to get one of those. A chest with a motif representing the alchemical symbol of fire.
Bah, ça tombe bien, j'ai récupéré une clé. Mais j'en ai qu'une. Chiotte. Mon cher ami, les plans se déroulent à merveille. La loi Quanagent vient d'être votée. Votre projet de fonder la toute première banque américaine ne devrait pas accuser de retard et s'appellera l'Union Bank. Quant à la construction de la Maison Blanche, elle doit toujours commencer en octobre. Je n'accepterai aucun retard. Vous pouvez me faire confiance. À très bientôt, Thomas Jefferson, secrétaire d'État. Bon, j'ai l'impression d'avoir fait le tour ici.
An iron mask. I wonder who it's for.
On veut pas savoir. Donc je crois qu'on a exploré plutôt bien ici. Ça fait un peu atelier d'alchimique. De toute façon, il est pas très nout. Zeus est mon papounet. Mon nom de famille, c'est celui d'une... Ah, ça explique bien des choses.
It's locked. It's locked.
Allez chercher votre mère. Bon.
Oh shit. How am I gonna get out of here now?
Genre par là, mec. Je sais pas.
It's locked.
Un livre, non?
Weakness of the Human Psyche by Guillaume Trimore. He says, it is possible to drill an idea into someone by constant daily repetition until the mind gives in. And goes on, there are hundreds of good ways to live life, but you only need one to go. This looks like the same mechanism as the one on the other side.
Si on prend le principe qu'il fallait remettre la date. Donc j'ai déjà oublié. Alors attendez. La date c'était, on a dit 1191. S'il faut qu'on mette le truc à l'envers. Donc Donc en fait, il faudrait que de l'autre côté... Voilà, attendez. On va essayer de faire comme ça. Alors là, ça sera un 5. Et donc là, si il fallait que ça soit un 9 qui soit ici... Bon, on va essayer avec un... On va essayer ça.
This looks like the same mechanism as the one on the other
Je
side.
suis en train de merder. Je sens que je suis en train de merder, mais...
Whoa, whoa. If the grid closes a bit more
Ah
every time I enter a wrong
putain!
gate, I'd better not mess up again. It doesn't seem to be working.
Bah ouais, mais si je me gourre, je suis foutu. Je peux pas faire une sauvegarde. Je veux pas mourir. Ok Rachel, bonne soirée. Oh, 90 000 mots, ça va. Quand t'arriveras à 150 000, on commencera à s'inquiéter, t'inquiète. Allez, je te souhaite une bonne soirée, une bonne nuit. Prends soin de toi et à bientôt. Alors, attendez, ça va de 0... J'écris à côté, hein. Donc s'il faut qu'on... Je vois je pense avoir le système. Par contre, réussir à saisir... Alors attends, on va remettre... On va remettre à 0 partout. Parce que du coup, si de l'autre côté, il faut avoir le... Non mais on fait pas exprès, hein, Tony, on fait pas exprès, hein. Moi, d'ordre personnel, si je pouvais faire plus court, ça m'arrangerait. Donc en fait, là, je pense que de l'autre côté, il faut que je puisse afficher 11,91. Mais alors, putain... Là, il y a toute une mécanique, en fait, où tu dois imaginer en relief... que là, en théorie, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Donc là, en toute logique, il y a combien de roues? Bah justement, ça va de 0 à 9, donc il y a 10 facettes. Il y a 10 facettes. Donc ça veut dire que là, quand tu as le 0, normalement, de l'autre côté, tu as le 5 qui est visible. Donc, si tu veux le 1... Donc, est-ce que là, ça voudrait dire qu'il faudrait le 6 ? Non. Et donc là, si on doit avoir le 9... Tu mets sur 9 et tu tournes de 5. Donc attends. Pourquoi la caméra bouge? 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. J'espère que t'as raison, Tony, sinon ça sera ta faute, hein. T'as 5 cases de différence. Donc là, si je veux le 9... Non mais non, ça va pas marcher. Alors attends. Donc si on compte que mon chiffre c'est... Pourquoi cette caméra de merde tourne? Donc tu dis 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3... Non, putain! Pardon. On recommence. Mais... Putain, ta mère en short la caméra! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Donc là, on a dit que c'était le 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Donc le 1... Mais il y a le putain de ménade de l'autre côté qui m'agace. Bon, on va bien voir, sinon j'ai perdu ou pas.
This looks like the same mechanism as the one on the other side.
On va quand même
These
faire ça.
cylinders rotate on the same central axis, so when I enter a number on one side, it corresponds to another one on the other
Ouais,
side.
c'est bien ça. Putain! Bravo Tony! Bravo!
Well, better not dwell on it then.
Maître de l'évasion. Découvrez la provenance de l'épée. Je vais descendre. Alors, je n'ai pas réussi à obtenir l'information. Bah oui, je sais, j'ai bien merdé comme une merde. J'aurais pu rencontrer Pérou dans d'étranges circonstances. Succès déverrouillé, le cauchemar. Ouais. Compétences en politique, c'est peut-être pas un mal vu tout ce qui est en train de se faire. Compétences en sciences, en étiquette. Je vais prendre manipulation. Allez.
This note is about a meeting with Lord Mortimer. There's no doubt about it. Alright, I need to find out where the sword that came with it's from in order to find Mother.
You're joking, I hope. Don't tell me you've done that.
Really? How do you expect me to guess?
Oh, for God's sake, just ask then. We must absolutely inform Sir Gregory. How long has he been trying to collect all the spears?
I must have brought him the first one 20-odd years ago.
Do you know if he has managed to get the original?
Well, in any case, he's got all the ones we had at the Vatican. He made me replace them with copies. But I don't understand your reaction. I'm sure it is nothing serious.
Je suis une discrétion.
I can see very well you do not understand. You have done nothing less than sign our death warrants, and still you don't understand.
Someone is listening.
What? Monsieur de Richet, why not join us rather than find yourself eavesdropping?
Well, I didn't want to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
Of course you didn't. So, my son, what can we do for you?
I didn't mean to spy on you, but you caught my attention. Your Eminence, I don't know what you said to Mr. von Volna, but the poor fellow looks positively crestfallen.
Not at all.
Don't you believe it, Louis. I was just telling Monsieur about Lord Mortimer's burning passion for holy relics. You must have noticed he's a bit of a collector. Well, for years, he has been searching high and low to bring all the copies of the Holy Spear together. As I was coming here, I thought I'd bring him a few of them. That's all.
Be quiet, for God's sake. Please leave us, monsieur. His Eminence and I wish to finish our discussion alone.
Il parlait aussi de la Sainte Lance, de Longinus, tout ça dans un des courriers. C'est un peu louche, hein. Prendre un peu de... Il faudrait que j'aille à l'extérieur. Est-ce qu'il y a des extérieurs? Ouais. J'essaie de voir pour sortir. Ou alors trouver une statue de pierre. Trouver le grand dragon de pierre. Tiens, un endroit que j'ai pas exploré.
There's the alchemical symbol of the earth on the lid. J'ai envie de tenter ça, dis donc. Note mystérieuse. Et mon inventaire est full. Je suis où? Je suis dans le hall d'entrée. J'ai pas l'impression que j'avais visité ça correctement, dis donc.
I am sorry, sir, but the conference room is under preparation.
Bonjour, Soisson.
Inaccessible to guests.
Coucou, le gros. Ouais, je suis pas venu par là, dis donc.
A bazant.
Est-ce que je peux sortir dehors? Oui! Ça me paraît bien pour trouver une épée de pierre. Hein? Ça va, le gros Soisson? Ben oui. Ah, tu vas être encore chiant cette nuit. Tu vas encore sauter par-dessus bord, comme un couillon. Alors. Ça, c'est de la gelée royale. Hop. Je vais me refaire un peu.
Golden elixir.
Ça sert à rien, je suis full de chez full. Oh là, il y a monsieur Schtroumpf-Ronchon. Bon, on va quand même aller parler à...
Well, Monsieur de Richet, what brings you here?
Alors lui, je crois que les interrogatoires, c'est pas son truc. Ouais, interrogatoire, c'est pas la peine.
And yourself? You wouldn't be looking for another woman to beat up by any chance, would you?
Putain, ça va être la
Right.
bagarre.
This conversation's over.
Oui, parce que la première fois qu'on l'a rencontré, il tapait une femme.
Ariadne. In Greek mythology, she helped Theseus get through the labyrinth.
Ouais, et c'est pour ça qu'il y a du fil.
Looks like there's a crack in the region of the heart. The state the stone of the statue is in reminds me of the sword. I'll bet my boots this is where Mother wanted to lure Mortimer. Just need to know why. Let's see. A crack as long as my finger.
On va essayer.
What's going to happen if I've got it wrong?
Ça me paraît un peu bizarre quand même, Ariane, avec... Je sais pas. On va quand même se balader avant. On sait jamais ce qu'on peut trouver. Surtout dans un labyrinthe. Et oui, je suis complètement full de complètement full.
Icarus. The son of Daedalus and Nocrate. Impossible to mistake him with those wings. After flying too close to the sun, they came unstuck and he fell to his death. Pity. Hey, there's no crack here. Well, let's keep going.
Bon, on va pas piocher sur le mythe davantage. Bon, je le connais un chouïa, donc... Et ça, c'est le fil d'Ariane qui continue de se balader. Clé à motif occulte de la Terre.
I wonder what this kiosk is doing in the middle of the garden. Too cramped to be able to do much. Well, there must be something going on there. What is that?
Oui, bah,
Some
une
sort
main.
of opening mechanism. Knowing Mortimer, I bet it's booby-trapped. There's a little hole at the fingers. I'm pretty sure if I get it wrong, I'll get pricked. Damn you, Mortimer. Reminds me of traps I studied in Egyptian tombs.
Il y a une plaque par terre. Je sais pas lire le latin, ça va bien m'avancer.
It looks like this slab moves. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a passageway underneath it. It's up to the just to deliver judgment. Truth unlocks all possibilities.
Ça me fait une belle jambe.
Pasiphae. daughter of Perseus and sister of Circe. She married Minos and became the queen of Crete. She has no cracks. For once justice is done. She won't pay for the errors of the others.
60!
Icarus didn't have
Il est
any
encore
cracks
entouré dans
either. Maybe the
Météodine.
Mycen are protected here. Let's hope it brings me good luck. All right, let's continue anyways.
Ah ouais, on essaiera de suivre le fil un peu plus attentivement après. Hein. Là, le but, c'est de découvrir. Donc...
Here's the famous Ariana's thread, thanks to which, if I remember rightly, Theseus avoided getting lost in the labyrinth. Ariadne.
Bon, on laisse l'épée pour l'instant ici. Et si on suit ce putain de fil, qui fait aussi un peu n'importe nawak. Bon, de toute façon, moi, j'ai pas de besoin de son putain de fil de merde pour avancer dans son labyrinthe à la con, hein.
Daedalus. He's the architect of the labyrinth. And if I'm not mistaken, he's also the father of Icarus.
Il y a beaucoup de trucs en lien avec le Minotaure, le Dédale, le labyrinthe. Hein. Se souvenir de la mythologie, non. Ah, il y a une fente
there's
aussi.
a crack in this statue too. The crack is thin and about as long as a finger.
Ça me paraîtrait plus pertinent que ça soit lui qui ait l'épée quand même. Oh, parce que Dédale, il est connu pour son labyrinthe, mais il faut savoir qu'il n'a pas fait que le labyrinthe. Il a conçu aussi le gros taureau, enfin, la génisse dans laquelle Persifée s'est mis dedans pour se faire enculer par le taureau. Allez, bonne nuit Toto. À plus. Merci d'être passé. Inventaire plein. C'est pas grave, affaire réglée. Quoi? Pourquoi j'ai un malus? Pourquoi j'ai un malus? Ah merde! Voilà.
Minos. Son of Zeus and Europa. If I remember correctly, he was the king of Crete.
Oui, c'est le père du
Married to
Minotaure.
Pasiphae, he had many children, including the famous Ariadne, whom history remembers for her thread. Hey, there's a crack in that statue. The crack is in the region of the... It's a thin crack as long as a finger. A blade could easily enter.
Ça devient intéressant. Ah, là c'est plus
Mysterion.
pertinent.
It is rare to see him like this. In general, he's represented with the head of a bull, with the features of the Minotaur. The famous son of Minos and Pasiphae. This statue has a crack in it.
Et il y en a deux autres d'épée, donc clairement ça va là.
The crack is thin and about as long as a finger. I should be able to thrust in my sword.
Ça me paraît plus pertinent étant donné qu'il y en a deux autres.
Let's go.
Bon, je vais aller récupérer l'épée, puis je vais revenir par là. Il n'y avait rien là, non. On va aller récupérer l'épée. Après, il va faire un tour gratuit. Enfin, si on arrive à ressortir de ce labyrinthe, parce que je sais plus comment on est rentré. Je suis perdu! Ah, ce son qui est pénible, qui est pénible. Allez, récupère l'épée.
Ariadne. I'll try something else.
Allez. On va retourner à notre petit... Voilà.
Mysterion. The statue has a crack in it. Right. We'll soon see.
Ça me paraît quand même pertinent que ça soit lui. Il a déjà deux épées dans le...
Asterion. Asterion, son of Minos and Pasiphae. Asterion, who had such a sad fate and who the legend portrays as the horrible Minotaur. Let's go.
Mhm. Attendez, attendez. Putain, mais soissons! Arrête! Pouh, qu'il est pénible ce chat, qu'il est pénible. Alors, je pensais que c'était ça, il s'est rien passé. Pourtant, il a deux épées.
Asterion.
C'est qui en face,
Theseus,
Thésée?
son of Aegeus. He's the one who slayed the Minotaur. Looks like a crack has been made on his torso.
Ce serait bizarre quand même.
Theseus.
Attendez, j'ai une petite idée.
Let's try something else instead.
Est-ce que par hasard le fil d'Ariane nous mènerait pas à différents personnages au fur et à mesure? Non, ça mène à Thésée. En tout cas, le fil d'Ariane, il passe bien n'importe où, n'importe comment. À quoi ça sert de faire un fil si c'est pas capable pour nous emmener Si j'entre ici, ça m'emmène où? Ok, ça m'a ramené là. C'est où là en fait?
The Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci.
The last day before his crucifixion, Jesus announces that he will be betrayed by one of his disciples.
Ah oui! Ok, je me souviens. Là on avait le truc avec tête de méduse. Ok, ok. Je me souviens d'où je suis. Alors, remontez la piste de votre mère. Donc...
Ariadne.
Alors...
In Greek mythology, Ariadne helped Theseus out of the labyrinth. Let's see.
Alors si je mets l'épée, qu'est-ce qui se passe? Absolument rien.
Ariadne. Try something else. Here's the famous Ariadne's thread, thanks to which, if I remember rightly, Theseus avoided getting lost in the labyrinth.
Alors ça me paraît très bizarre que ce fil il nous mène à rien. On va essayer de le retrouver de l'autre côté là-bas. Tu te demandes à quoi ça sert un fil d'Ariane si de toute façon tu peux pas passer à travers le labyrinthe. Et c'est ça qui est d'ailleurs vachement étrange. On va essayer de le suivre. Oh. Parce que je pense que ça peut peut-être nous ouvrir des solutions. Alors, comment j'étais allé tout à l'heure? Ah oui, comme ça, je me souviens. Si, je me souviens. Hop, je vais essayer un truc. Oui, le jeu. As-tu un peu de mal, le jeu?
Daedalus. Hey, there's a crack in this statue too. Daedalus.
All right, let's try again. You never know.
Odin. Donc, on lui met l'épée dans le bide à lui. Donc, on essaye de retrouver le fil. Donc, il est là. On continue.
Pasiphae, daughter of Perseus and sister of Circe. She married Minos and became the queen of Crete. She has no cracks.
All right, let's continue anyways.
Voilà. Il va falloir retrouver le fil par là-bas. Donc, voilà, ici comme ça. Hop, hop. Et on arrive au bout ici.
Theseus. Looks like a crack has been made on his torso. Theseus. Let's try something else instead.
Il y a quelque chose qui m'échappe là. Hein.
The statue has a crack in it. Right. We'll soon see.
Alors attendez. Je suis mort.
What's wrong? Either I'm imagining things or my hand was pricked. It had poison on it. My head. I feel hot.
Vous savez quoi? On va aller remettre le truc dans TZ et on va recommencer. Comme un con. Et puis si ça marche pas, ben... Parce que honnêtement, je vois pas l'intérêt du fil d'Ariane pour aller jusqu'à TZ si c'est pas pour quelque chose.
Theseus. Looks like a crack has been made on his torso.
Puis si ça marche pas, on s'arrêtera parce que j'ai pas d'idée. Alors en plus là je vais faire ma pétasse, mais si l'épée avait été retirée il y a peu de temps, je pense qu'on pourrait le voir sur la roche. Ah putain. C'est rien passé? Bon, ben, il s'est rien passé. Donc, je sais pas. J'ai pas d'idée.
It looks like this slab moves. Well, I wouldn't be surprised
Oui,
if
bah
there
ça,
was
je
a
me doute
passageway
que ça s'ouvre.
It's up to the just to deliver judgment. Truth unlocks all possibilities.
Bon, bah j'ai pas d'idée les gens. Ça fait 4 heures qu'on joue. Je sais pas quoi faire. Donc, on va s'arrêter là. Je sais pas quand ça a sauvegardé la dernière fois, mais c'est pas grave. Parce que là, franchement, j'ai aucune idée de quoi faire avec cette épée à la con. Voilà. Bon, bah on terminera la semaine prochaine, selon dans quel état je suis. Bon les gens, du coup, je vous dis rendez-vous à mercredi. Passez une bonne fin de soirée, prenez soin de vous. Et à bientôt pour de nouvelles aventures. Allez, salut les gens!